Week 4 National Football League starts tonight. Appreciate all coming aboard. Thank you. Seattle and Arizona tonight. Two teams 2-1, both quarterbacks playing good football. Who would have thought the reclamation project of Sam Darnold would carry over from Minnesota to Seattle? That's a good football team. Kyler Murray's playing exceptional football right now. He is. I don't care what you think of him. I don't care if you're out on him. He's playing really good football these first 3 games. What does that mean? We're still in September, which means it's a liar's month. Okay? It's a liar's month. But both those quarterbacks are playing pretty good ball. If you look at the PFF rankings, if you go there, they're some of the highest rated quarterbacks in pro football right now, Kyler Murray. And I think Darnold's number 1. So you look at both those guys, I mean, 2 teams, 2-1. Somebody will be disappointed tonight. But I think it's going to be a pretty good football game. That's in Glendale. And that starts week 4 of the NFL, college football this weekend. And, of course, I think the game of the weekend, and this is going to be the Buccaneers and the Eagles. Tom Brady's in the house. So you're going to have TB12 calling the game on Sunday. By the way, Super Chats, go to the top. Please hit the like button here. So this is going to be a football game. And I had Gary Cobb on the morning show in Tampa today, and he's with me on it. Right now, at the end of the day, I'm going to look at it and go like this. I really don't know what I'm going to see in this Sunday game because of the injuries and the inconsistency we're seeing in play from the Philadelphia Eagles. And now the Eagles are starting to mount up some injuries themselves. So, again, I'm leaning Philly. But this notion about you getting down there, here, I'm going to tell you the secret to getting and playing in the heat. They should have waited until later in the day on Saturday to fly down and save up as much of your energy as you possibly can. The more you're in that early, the more energy you're going to dehydrate more if you're not ready to play on Sunday. The Bears used to come down to Tampa back in the day when they had that great team. They would come down on a Saturday afternoon because they knew the heat in Tampa was going to be excessive, and they would play and they would have their energy for Sunday. They didn't come down 2 days earlier. They knew better. And we were in the same division at the same time, the NFC Central Division. So, I mean, that notion, you kind of telegraphed once again that the heat's going to be an issue for you. Okay? Well, I think you unzip your fly there a little bit with that. Do me a favor, please. Hit the like button. Super Chats go to the top. Okay. How many people think that Howie Roseman, as we said this all offseason, had a great offseason when it came to adding personnel to the team, excluding the draft? What would your grade be on him adding to the team to replace players that helped you win a Super Bowl and get to be the number 1 ranked defense? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think, and how do you think his grade? Mikey, F, okay? Here, look at this. B plus. In what aspect? B plus in you adding except the draft. A plus. Look at these guys. Okay? So let's stay here. Hold on. Let's go with Ed Reyes. A. He's still making moves, balancing the existing and future contracts. Okay? So Oren Burks right now is the number 2 rated linebacker against the rush in the National Football League. And he is right now ranked ahead of Fred Warner. Isaiah Rodgers just won the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award. And now you have Bryce Huff ranked the 7th best pass rushing edge rusher in pro football. What did you add again? Help me out on this. What did you add? I'll repeat it. Oren Burks is the 2nd graded run-stopping defensive linebacker in pro football. Isaiah Rodgers was just named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And now you have Bryce Huff ranked the 7th best pass rusher in pro football. You're struggling at edge, you're struggling at one corner, and you're struggling against the run. Where did he add? Help me out here. That helped improve the football team, excluding the draft. Bennett is on IR. Where? Where did he help? Where did he? Yeah. Well, guess what, RC3? You're the only person in here because if you talk to the players, they'll tell you that so RC3 is telling you at 3-0, the players aren't telling you that they're struggling. Well, we're going to get to that here in a minute because AJ disagrees with RC3. Bro, when you argue and say things like that, you're arguing against the players making those comments, not me. You're making those comments against what the players are saying. I mean, you can sit here and make that comment at me, but the players don't agree with you. So get this. If A.J. Brown was sitting here, RG3 would be contradicting A.J. Brown with the comments that he made yesterday. What a buffoon. Bro. Okay? He's an outlier? What about Isaiah Rodgers? You think he's an outlier? Is Isaiah Rodgers an outlier? He just was named the Defensive Player of the Week. Or is, who else? Oren Burks being a second-rated linebacker against the run. Is that an outlier too? Well, shit, I got 3 outliers. They both played on your football team. They're outliers too. Again, stupid takes, as usual, to start the program off with him. Sills, you preach how this is a liar's month, but you bring up all these stats, they're trends and rankings of players. Let's see how they are doing halfway through the season. Gabe, does that also include Jordan Davis? Gabe, does that include Jordan Davis? Xander just gave me some great stats about Jordan Davis. Well, if I'm going to bring these guys and these players' names up, that also includes Jordan Davis. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Good. And to M. Reyes' point, saying that he's still evolving the roster with what? Spare parts? The Joshua Uches of the world? Dude, your defense is getting killed on the run. You're 24th. I mean, where are we going here? You're 24th, excuse me, in ranking, and you're ranked 24th in total defense. How are you playing well? Who's saying that? The reason that other teams are still in ball games with you is because you're not playing well in 2 areas, defense and the run game. How in the world? Look, I'm the same way on the Bucs here. I don't buy that 3-0 record. I don't know how good they are. Hey, I'm not making a point here to go, well, the Eagles are 3-0. You do get the benefit of the doubt. Did you not hear me earlier say that the Eagles, I still think, are number 1? I still think they're number 1. I didn't say you weren't. What's your problem with going over and us looking at what's happened in the first 12 quarters? Again, like I said, guys, if you don't want to sit here and talk about the first 12 quarters of the season, this ain't for you. This is not a glazed donut show. It's not. I mean, maybe the case is our schedule. Listen, I buy the teams that you've played more than the teams that the Bucs have played. I completely go down that lane. You played a team that was in the Super Bowl, and you're also playing against a team that I consider one of the better teams in the NFL, the Rams. So I completely do. theory of mine, did they hire Kellen last season for Patullo? We know Kellen for being a pocket passer OC. Jalen works in an RPO and up-tempo, so why Kellen? I think Kellen Moore had to do something to save his career, and that was to go to the run game. And that was a decision by him and the staff to go to the run game. Unfortunately, you don't have the run game. Okay, here, check this out. Seals, you keep saying the defense is ass. I didn't say that on the running game. But the Lions ran on the Ravens. I'm not talking about the fucking Ravens. Dude, I'm talking about the defending champions. I'm not talking about the Ravens. What's the point? What does the Ravens defense have to do with you and your play? Get to see this here? What does that have to do with you? What in the world does that have to do with you and your defense? Zero. Ravens have their own issues. Seriously, and it is on defense. He's not wrong about that. Absolutely true. All right. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button here. And I'm going to ask this question one more time here. And I'm going to ask you guys a question. You think there's a problem? A communication problem? How about this? Do you think that there is a professional conflict between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown? Yes or no? You think there's a problem between the men? Let me go back here because I want to go to this. I'm going to go to this number here and make sure that I get this exactly right because I don't want to misquote anybody here on this. Okay? Dominique says no. Of course, M. Reyes thinks everything is perfect in fucking Eagleville. Even Yale says yes. Here's a trend the Bucs have done to us last two games. They put up 70 combined points. Hey, you know what? Every time I heard John McMullen go like this today. Hey, we have our guys against the Bucs. Welcome to the fucking NFL, John. It's an excuse. Okay? That's an excuse. You're 1-4 versus them. And if you're not healthy, that's not a Buck issue. That's an Eagle issue. Well, they beat us with less guys. Well, then guess what? That's a you issue. I say that to everybody, no matter what team it is. This is how you win football games. This is how you win championships. Welcome to the NFL. You don't have your full allotment of guys? Hey, the Bucs don't have their O-line. You think that I'm going to use that as an excuse? You've never heard me say on this show, in 5 years, you've never heard me go, well, they didn't have everybody. And that's why you beat them. You've never heard me say that. Because that's part of the NFL. Anybody who says that doesn't really quite get the league. Injuries are not, you can't, hey, Cincinnati has to figure out how to win games with Jake Browning. That's why the league is made this way. That's why there's not 100 guys on a roster and Chip Kelly's not coaching in the NFL. It's by design. It's part of it. Hey, we lost our wideout. Well, welcome to the NFL. The Bucs lost Mike Evans. So you think that I'm going to blame the Eagles for beating or give an excuse that the Eagles beat the Bucs because they didn't have Mike Evans? Absolutely not. That's part of it. I mean, that's part of the whole thing here, man. All right, here's where I'm going to go with AJ. Hurts a company man. Company man hurts. Okay? And guess what? I'm not sure Jalen's wrong because he's had it convinced to him that you're 19-1 playing the way that they play. Here's the quote from AJ. It took too long as an offense for us to adjust. Well, who do you think he's taking a shot at? He's not taking a shot at Jalen Hurts. He's taking a shot at Sirianni and Kevin Patullo. AJ spoke about the need to shift when teams take away Barkley and be attackers on Sunday against the Bucs. Do you know what he just did? He called the Eagle coaching staff soft and not aggressive. He said the mentality right there, he called them soft. You're not going to be an attacker. There's only one other thing you are. You're passive. They're passive. And you know what Hurts did? Hurts did the right thing. Well, we're 19-1 this way. M. Reyes posted something that was pretty crazy yesterday. And get this, it goes to my take. He posted all these great things about Jalen Hurts in the pocket. Hey, go ahead and repost it. I'll post it again. They don't trust Hurts. I think Musmeyer was a loss. Again, continuity. Great take, Kim. Great take. I think Musmeyer was a loss. M. Reyes, put up those stats again in the pocket of your boy Jalen Hurts. They don't trust Hurts. There's no other excuse. The coaches are too conservative. They don't adjust in game. It takes them too long. And they don't trust the quarterback. What else could it be? Well, what else could that be? Here. Thanks, Emrys. Okay, well, Hurts in 2024. Now, this is low volume. To be in context, he's second in the NFL, second in passing. He's fourth in rating. Well, what's the problem? And then you have the A.J. Brown going like this. We don't adjust quick enough. Well, either they're incompetent coaches or they don't trust the quarterback. Which is it? If Hurts has these numbers, and I'm not disputing M. Reyes here on this. Get this. Are those fake facts? You really think M. Reyes is going to post fake facts here on his boy? If those numbers are true, and I believe they are, what's the problem? Either you have incompetent coaching or they don't trust the quarterback. Pick one. Which is it? I'm with Kim. I don't think they trust the quarterback. How could they? Low volume? When he has to throw, he's good? I think this is the ass that Jalen has all the time. I don't think he thinks Nick's a very good offensive-minded coach. It's something. A.J. Brown says they don't adjust quick enough. That they don't adjust quick enough. Do you find that to be a problem? Get this. I don't have to make calls on Sunday. Says you don't trust Hurts. Good question. I do. I think he's one of the smartest quarterbacks in the NFL. I trust the guy. I don't think he's as skillful as a lot of guys, but you don't have to be the best and most skilled guy to win. I think you got to be the smartest guy to win. And I think he's one of. I do. Let's see here. Yeah, if those numbers are right, it's coaching malpractice. The scheme opens up versus the Bucs. Yeah, you're gambling on it? Go ahead. Good luck to you. After what I heard Hurts say in the press conference, they're going back to the same thing they did in the first half against the Rams. If you think they're going to change their scheme, you're out of your fucking minds. They're not going to change the scheme. No way. Why would they? They're 19-1. And until they get beat, they're not doing it. You know the only reason they went to Barkley last year? Because they were 2-2. They're 3-0. They're not changing anything. Why would they? Every time you guys post 3-0, you validate what they're doing. You know that? So why would you change? Every one of you that posts 3-0, okay? Every one of you, you validate them in their approach. See this here? These guys here? They're telling you they're not going to change. I happen to agree with these guys. Benny, 3-0. He's right. Steve, 3-0. They're not throwing the ball in this game. They're not. They didn't do it last year when they won the Super Bowl. You see this take here? Hurts knows they don't trust him with the straitjacket quote. I believe AJ wants to go off script with Jalen to be more aggressive, but Hurts won't. That's it right there, Mikey. We should have done this, and I forgot to do it, but the take of the day right now is Mikey. That's the take of the day so far. Here it is. Hurts knows they don't trust him with the straitjacket comment. I believe AJ wants to go off script with Hurts, which means audibles, and be more aggressive, but Hurts won't. Absolutely true. It's a great take, Mikey. No doubt about it. They're not changing. They're not. Dude, you're not showing anything? What are you some sort of complex offense? This guy makes it sound like he runs a John Gruden playbook. Are you crazy? You've got 7 pass plays and about 14 run plays. Don't make yourself sound smarter than you're not. Seals, with those numbers, the staff should be increasing the attempts without gently deflating the game plan. So they find out if Hurts numbers fall off. Listen, I'm going to say again to you, Bob, they're not going to deviate off their game plan. Okay? Bro, what are you talking about? So dumb. Man, are you bad? I guess what would make sense if Hurts didn't go to the sideline to let Patullo know that we've got to do something different in the game. I believe my eyes over words. Absolutely true. You totally saw this. Here, look at this here too going into the game. Bond knee, Campbell tricep, Adoree Jackson groin are out here warming up with their helmets on. All 3 did not practice on Wednesday. Do you like this update? Yes, no, I don't. Thank you for the update, though, but no, I don't. Okay? All matters Dan, you have the best show anywhere. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Really mean that. Thank you, William, and I thank you for coming here. And thank you for the super. We appreciate it very much. This dude wants a depressed fan. Hey, Benny, sit the fuck down and shut up. Bills can't get to the Super Bowl. They show everything in the regular season. The reason they have to show everything because they have nothing. That's how they win games, dude. You're making it sound like they have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley and Jordan Mailata and Dallas Goedert and all those guys sitting on the football team. They don't have that. I mean, seriously, you make it sound like they have a shitload of players up there. Why aren't our OCs creative? Because Nick told them not to be. Because Nick told them not to be. I don't get it. Hurts won us a Super Bowl, and they don't trust Hurts? Well, you figure it out then. Why aren't they throwing the ball? You're not running the ball well. Why was the game plan? Thank you. Appreciate that. Believe me. By the way, it's nothing depressing. You're winning football games because of Jalen Hurts. Plain and simple. Have you ever heard me say that? You've won 3 straight ball games this year because of Jalen Hurts and how smart he is. He's the smartest kid in the game at that position. I mean, hey, you know why both teams are 3-0? Mayfield hasn't turned the ball over, and Hurts, outside of that fumble, him getting annihilated because Barkley missed that block. That fumble, he has no turnovers outside of that play that Barkley forced that. That was Barkley's fumble. Got the quarterback annihilated because he missed the block. Hey, by the way, JoJo, this is not about me. Shut the fuck up. Let's see here. Xander, I missed Josh Herman's super chat there. So, Sills, if the winning stops, is there going to blow up if Hurts is a company man? No, I think what will happen is they'll do what they did a year ago, and they'll start throwing it more. If they, you know what's almost, dude, I'm not going to say this because I think losing blows. It's almost like the best thing can happen, Josh, is if they lost because it would force them into it. Hey, Josh, do you not agree? Last year's 2-2 record forced them into running the ball. They didn't want to do that. That's not what the team is built for. They're spending $150 million on 3 players. They didn't want to run the ball last year. They wanted to throw it. Sills, now I know why Hurts was benched at Bama. The idiot in New York was his coordinator that year. Brian Dable was Jalen Hurts' coordinator. Wow. Do you think they'll move Bond down? No, I do not. I'm not moving. You know what Bond is right now? Bond's one of the worst run defenders at linebacker in the league right now. Do you know that? What do you make of that? He's one of the worst run defenders in the league. What do you make of that? What do you guys make of that? I keep hearing his defense is playing great. Right now, so far, Zach Bond's one of the worst tackling linebackers against the run in the league. What do you make of that? No, nothing? Okay. Big Sills, when are people going to stop acting like Aziz Ojbo, our edges group is trash? Listen, our edges group as a group are trash. Well, I'll tell you what, Joshua Uche and Aziz Ojolari, we'll find out. Carter's not informed. That's why, Sills. Okay, so he's out of shape. Okay, so Jalen Carter coming into a contract extension here came into this year out of shape. Okay, now listen here. I'm starting to buy this a little bit. Okay, what's his ranking overall? Like, was he 45? Here, let me give you guys the numbers here on the defense. Let me go here. Here, let me go here again. I've got the NFL numbers here on the Eagle defense right here. Just got NFLPA just sent me this right now. Eagles are 18th in total defense. Pass defense, the Eagles are 11th. Rush defense, the Eagles are 24th. Okay. You're 24th against the run. You're 24th against the run. Who's playing well? 18th overall when you were number 1 a year ago. You fell 17 spots so far. And that's going to turn around with no Nolan. A weak corner. Suspect at safety. And linebackers who are not performing against the run like they did a year ago. Now, this is true. It's September. It's a liar's month. I mean, the defense, you know what they're here? I'll show you what they're great at. And here's Vic right here. Eagles are 7th in red zone, scoring opportunities. 3rd down. Here's something else that you have to keep an eye on 3rd down. Listen to this. The Eagles on 3rd down are 21st. You're 21st on 3rd down. Why? Because teams are running the ball on you. You can't get off the field. There's 3rd downs. You're at the bottom end of the league at 3rd down defense. Teams are running the ball on you. They don't have to throw the ball on you. How many rushing attempts, by the way, did the Rams have last week? Somebody, hey, do me a favor, Kyle. Tell me how many rushing attempts I bet you this. Taken away from Hurts, I guarantee you the Rams had more rushing attempts a week ago than the Eagles did. And the Eagles last year were averaging what, 35, 36 yards a game? I guarantee you the Rams had more rushing attempts with their running backs than what the Eagles did. And if it once again, if it wasn't for Hurts making spectacular defense or offensive-minded plays out there, you're not winning. Hey, Greg, I am not a Buccaneer fan. I am no fan to any team. None. I don't root for a team. I root for the NFL. I love the NFL. The Rams ran the ball 31 times. Hey, Abe, how many times did the Eagles run, not with Jalen Hurts, but with Saquon Barkley? 14 times? 31 times they ran. Absolutely. Okay? No, they're called trends. Stats to nerds like you. Trends to me and former players. 31 attempts for the Rams. 27 Eagles, but 9 was Hurts, so 18. So the Rams, a passing team. Sean McVay's a passing coordinator, right? Ran the ball 31 times. Okay. Why do you think that is? Because they were getting success against it. They didn't have to throw the ball. Patullo's run. Well, hey, Ike, here. Then why are your players complaining? Ike, why are your players complaining? Then why are your players complaining? Why are your coordinators complaining? Why is your head coach complaining? They're nitpicking too then. Right? AJ's complaining because he wants stats. No way. AJ's complaining because he thinks he can win football games his way. It's nothing to do with that. I believe that guy wants to win the game his way. I believe Barkley wants to win his way. Guy, every time you address me and talking about what we're talking about, it's not a conversation. I have nothing to do with Sunday's game. So when you bring me into it, it's totally irrelevant of a conversation. Do you understand? I have nothing to do with the game on Sunday. Nothing. I have nothing to do with the game on Sunday. Nothing. We're talking about what the players are talking about and the coaches are talking about, not what you're talking about. Okay? All right. So just because Stafford injury contributed to 31 rushing attempts. Yeah, the back probably did. It did. But they were effective also. Okay? Okay, not bad. I'm sorry for clicking on, folks. I didn't mean to bore you with his takes. Still saying that with his Bucks pick over his shoulder. Get this, folks. I was drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers into the National Football League, and I went into the NFL because I was drafted by that team, and the helmets that I have behind me are the only ones that I've ever played with in teams. The jerseys, one of them is my mentor and Leroy Selman, and the other is another one, my uncle Andy Robustelli. It's my Canes jersey, and Vince Papali gave me that helmet at an Army-Navy game. And there's a player I played with in Jerome Brown. So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Good to listen to your Tampa show today. Enjoyed you. And G. Cobb, thank you very much. G. Cobb said the same thing today. You know, this game's going to be close. If Hurts opens his mouth more vocally, the front office will let him know he's replaceable. It has nothing to do with his talent. It's control. Hey, Kim, if they can replace Doug Peterson, they can replace Jalen Hurts. Everybody knows that in the locker room. Okay? I do. Sills, again, anything to do with the game, we'll sit here and talk. Anything to do with me, I have no interest. I think this is a good football game, man. I really do. I think this is a good football game. I really love A.J. Brown now. A.J.'s taking shots at your coordinator. What do you make of that? I don't mind that. Just had Todd Bowles on the show. Pick the Bucks to win. I had RC3 on your show, not the Tampa show, because you're playing them. Bro, I didn't pick the Bucks to win the Super Bowl. How do the Bucks win without wide receivers? Baker finally getting a taste of how he did it a year ago and threw for 41 touchdowns. Mike Evans missed 5 ball games last year, and he still threw for 41 TDs. How did he do that without Mike Evans and Godwin? He lost Godwin against the Ravens, and he lost Mike Evans for 5 games. He still threw for 41 TDs and 4,500 yards. How did he do that? I mean, how did that happen? I'll tell you what here, dude. I've been right on everything I've said so far this season. And September's the Liars Month. We'll see. Once again, Spike, stay focused, guy. There's a game Sunday. Don't worry about me. I know you've got this fantasy about me, but hang in there. We'll talk about the game on Sunday. Baker or Hurts, who do you take? I really like Baker Mayfield, but I wouldn't take Baker over Hurts. I mean, I think Baker's got a good football team too when healthy. Godeke at right tackle, Wirfs at left. Cody Mock, when they're in there, he's out now for the year. Grant Barton's going to be one of the tops. I think Grant Barton's a better center right now than Cam Jurgens. But he's playing left tackle because they have to. So my point being is that he's got players. He's got this kid, Emeka Buka. So the talent level's pretty good. You've got this kid, Bucky Irvin. They're good. They're not level of play of the Eagle talent, but you can't say that Baker Mayfield doesn't have talent. So that conversation, well, Hurts has more talent. Well, not by a lot. So I think Jalen's just smarter. I think the only reason that Baker Mayfield is 3-0 is because he hasn't turned the ball over. But Baker's playing some of the best ball of anybody in the first 12 quarters of the year. He is. He's in the MVP conversation. I saw somebody send me something in the latest with the MVP voting. And here's the latest with the NFL Players Association. Right now, Justin Herbert's number 1. Josh Allen's 2. Jones is 3. Mayfield 4, Jonathan Taylor 5, Jordan Love 6, Myles Garrett 7, Drake May 8, Puka Nacua 9, and Caleb Williams 10. I don't buy any of that. That wouldn't be my list. I think all those guys are playing great out of the gate, though. Okay, I do. Okay, and I'm with you. I'm completely with you. I got more question marks on that than I do the Eagles, who they've played. I have no question on who the Eagles played. This is my big thing rolling into this game. Jets, Texans, and Falcons. Yeah, I don't know. That's not a gauntlet of teams. They got a gauntlet of teams coming up after this, which, by the way, Mike Evans is going to miss the majority of those. And this is the deal why you take Hurts over Mayfield, is because, yes, last week was a great example of it. The game in Kansas City was another example of it. Absolutely. I'm not dismissing that. Okay? Yeah, and I said that game would be close because of all the losses in the offensive line. I mean, yeah, but again, your game was close against the Cowboys, and I think the Cowboys are shit. They got crushed by the Bears. I mean, the Cowboys went up and down the field. They had no problem moving the sticks against you. Dak Prescott was moving the ball at will. The defensive line for the Dallas Cowboys stuffed you guys in the first game. So, I mean, they shut down Bijan. They did. That's when they had Elijah Cansey too, but they don't have him now. There are 3 techniques out for the year. It's a big loss. What did I see? Todd Bowles is a bigger problem. Our coaching staff is not that good. It's a great take. I don't think it's not that good, JoJo. I think it's inexperienced. Here, guys, when A.J. Brown says we're not adjusting quick enough, what does that tell you? That the coordinator, my question is, what's Nick's involvement then? Does Nick sit there? Ask yourself this question here. Guys, please hit the like button. Xander's going to join us at 3:30. Ask yourself this. So here, let me go back to this direct quote. So Nick Sirianni, do you guys believe that Nick has say over this offense? Or how about this, the direction of the offense? Do you think he has, philosophical control over what and how their approach is going to be? Do you believe that? I do. They're going to win a certain way. They're 19-1, and they're going to stay to that formula until proven otherwise, right? That's Nick. Do we all agree on that? That's Nick. Okay. Well, then here's what AJ's saying. And when AJ says this is a little wild when he's saying it. So if we put this shit in context here, it took too long for our offense to adjust. So is Nick just sitting there, allowing the first half to tick off and not making in-game adjustments? Tell you somebody who does in-game adjustments, and actually he does it per series, is Vic. Vic makes adjustments. That's why his defenses are keeping you in ball games and winning ball games. Let me say this. I got more confidence that Vic Fangio will end up around the top 10 than I have that offense ending up around the top 10 in total offense. I don't know what that thing looks like right now. And all your talent's on that side of the ball. Well, all your money is for sure. This guy, Kevin Petula, so where's Nick in game? Hey, we got to do something different. That has to come from upstairs. That has to come from upstairs. That's why they don't adjust. Am I wrong? Right? Right now, you're 18th. Okay? No. Well, right now you're 18th. That has to come from upstairs. Here. It doesn't come from upstairs. Everyone knows Jeffrey wants a high-powered passing game. Maybe you don't know that. It doesn't come from upstairs. And he says, everyone knows Jeffrey wants a high-powered passing offense. Maybe you don't know that. Maybe you don't know how to formulate a fucking sentence. I mean, ask yourself what this guy just said. It doesn't come from upstairs, but everyone knows Jeffrey wants a high-powered offense. Guy, are you 7? Seals, I believe Nick does have the say, but I believe that he's not willing to make a game change because he has no feel for the flow of the game. Inexperienced OC hands-off head coach makes you late. That's right. Come on, Seals. For years you said how many coordinators we are going to blame. Why are you blaming the OC now? Well, here's the key. Shane Steichen got a job. Hurts went to the Super Bowl. Brian Johnson lit the offense in 2023 on fire. 2024, hired a coordinator, got a job, won the Super Bowl. Right now in 2025, you're 24th in offense. I don't know. And the star players are complaining. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Hurts is not willing to change. That's the holdup. Hurts is not willing to change. Because you know what his attitude is? His attitude is we're 19-1, and he's bought into the corporate. I would too. I've been to 2 Super Bowl. Listen, Hurts is a company man. And the company is, in the last 3 years, they've been to 2 Super Bowls and 19-1 in the last 2 years. I don't know. How do you fight that? You know, I could bring up all this bullshit that I'm bringing up. 19-1. AJ can complain all he wants. Right? Jalen Hurts MVP. He's locked in. You ain't winning an MVP averaging 100 yards passing and 30th in passing. You're not winning that. If changes are being addressed from upstairs, it's too late. Adjustments need to be made ahead of the curve. That's why it took a half. AJ's ripping somebody. Frank, right? He's ripping somebody. Who do you think AJ's ripping when he says we don't make adjustments on time? Ownership, the head coach, or the OC? Who do you think he's ripping? Who do you think he's ripping? It's a question. You know, there's no right answer. I don't know. I don't know I don't know. Who's he ripping? Is he ripping Nick? Is that on the head coach? All of the above? Okay. Jalen Hurts is a coach's son. He was raised to follow orders like Saban benched him and having to smile. He's going to do that too in the NFL. Hurts just run, and less passing for less turnovers. Well, let me ask you something there on that one there, senor. Don't you think then at the end of the day that's not trusting him? Do you believe Jalen will become more arrogant? Nope. I do not. I don't think there's arrogance in that guy. I do not. Does Jalen come off like an arrogant guy? He comes off as a confident. And by the way, I don't mind arrogance. I want my athletes to be arrogant. I don't want them to be douchebags, but I want them to be arrogant. I want them to think they're the best thing that they ever could be in their entire life. Jimmy Johnson used to have a saying, you tell a player what he is, he'll remain. You tell a player what he could be, he'll become. That's what Jimmy's mentality was all the time. Nick was on the hot seat for a reason. If we had a coach like Shanahan, we'd be dangerous because he doesn't hold his players back. Yeah, but I'll tell you what he does do, Shanahan. Shanahan coaches 58 minutes of a ball game, and then all of a sudden those onions become raisins. And he gets a little conservative in the end of the games, and I think that's why he's lost critical football games like Super Bowls. I mean, I think great coordinators like Vic have gigantic canyon ball onions, and they've got to make tough decisions in situations, and they're held accountable for it. Dude, having cannonball balls when you're a coordinator and nothing to do with the analytic idiots upstairs like Julian Laurie, the owner's son. Well, we should run here on 3rd and 7, 25% of the time. Hey, kid, seriously. I'll use a line from The Godfather. I was making my bones when you were dating cheerleaders. Then again, that guy got shot in the end, so he got shot in the eye too, by the way. The Eagles are analytic-driven. Protect the ball, play behind. Yeah, this is analytics. Hey, Bazooka Joe, this is totally like dork football. The Eagles play dork football 101. It's boring. Drew Brees said it. It's the worst offense in pro football. Then I turn around and go, well, wait a minute. They're 19-1. Vic has juggernaut balls. Very good dual threat. Mo Green, very good. Mo Green took it in the eye, though, in the end. Vince McMahon would make a great head coach with the grapefruits. Thank you he would. I love Vince McMahon, except for his stupid behavior behind the scenes. He was a brilliant marketer who couldn't control himself. Too bad. Too bad he has to be a scumbag. Great promoter, though. Let me tell you one thing. I'll tell you this. Anybody who treats women like shit, that's the only rule I have. I don't support you. I have to stand for something. Okay? And I'm standing for that. If you're a scumbag and you treat women like shit, I'm out. I don't care if you rob a fucking bank. I'll let you off the hook and give you a second opportunity. I'll give many things. But if you fucking rape people or you're bad, especially towards women, I am out on you. Got to have something you stand on, don't you? Can't just go along and go with the ride with everyone else. They fucking, it's great. Yeah, no, not me. Hey, what do you think of that guy? Think he's a scumbag? Hey, what about Vince? Hey, Vince is a hell of a marketer. He's the modern day P.T. Barnum. Okay? I could have swore I saw Sirianni reading Play Calling for Dummies. Still, hey, can you imagine, guys? My daughter gives me a ton of shit every day on everything there is. Me supporting people that are like not cool with chicks, that won't work with her. She already gives me enough shit on the Trump stuff. Sills, don't kid yourself. AJ was taking a shot at Hurts. Okay, so you see it was Hurts. The ball is in Hurts' hands. Hurts can audible to AJ whenever he wants if he sees it. The question is, does he trust what he sees yet? I think there's something to that. I do. Kyle's a choker and conservative, especially when he gets down. Okay? Here's this asshole here. Your daughter and wife are too smart for you. Well, that's why you marry people and you put people around you that are smarter than you. So, you know what? You know, if you're making stupid mistakes, they'll tell you you're being a dumbass. Thank you very much. It's better than having a dopey-ass woman around you who just goes along with you. Been with this chick 35 years. What the fuck do you think? 40 years almost. Tell you what, there'd be nobody else I trust more. See, yeah, and by the way, we've been together like how many presidents? We've been together more than, I don't know. We've been together more than what? How many coaches they have in Dallas? I think me and Kim have been together 7 Dallas Cowboy coaches. I feel pretty good. I'm kind of like we're like the Steelers a little bit. Yeah, that went over everybody's head. I'm sure it did. What, loyalty? No one is going to knock you for caring about. And no, it's not. It's not. Hey, wait a minute, Sean. Thanking me for not liking people who sexually abuse women is like thanking me for not robbing a bank. So, you know what I mean? Hey, thanks, Sills, for not robbing a bank. Yeah, it's not really a backslapper, I don't think. But maybe the most common things today are the hardest things to do because being common sometimes is not as easy as people think. You know what I mean? So here, let me go to another one here. So Jalen Hurts. Was AJ talking to Hurts? Thank you, Sue. Appreciate it. Folks, okay, which is still says, yes, of course, got to have that, man, without it. Okay, so here, let's go to Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith's injury. How much of an impact in this game on Sunday is his injury? Thanks for hating on the Eagles. It makes your show better. Hey, Philly. You know what to me it sounds like? You mean thank you for sounding like a Philadelphian? It makes the show better? Is that what you're saying? Because all I've heard from everybody in Philly is what the hell's wrong with the offense? I mean, Philly, didn't you mean that? Hey, Sills, thanks for hating on the Eagles. It makes you sound more like a Philadelphian. Is that possibly it? Hey, Special, is that what you mean? I sound like you? You guys have to complain. By the way, my grandmother tried to tell you, or my aunt tries to tell you, my aunt tries to tell you that we got a ton of family in Philly. My aunt will tell you we got a ton of family down there in Philadelphia. Sills, we like to talk shit. It makes it fun. There you go. That's my take. Sills, Jalen will be 12-2 in September since 2022. And the NFL is fucking amazing. These winning records that the Eagles have, it's insane. It's insane. Okay? I like Dan now and agree with him. The Eagles suck. Whoever is hey, you listen to me. That's my grandpa's take. It wasn't who was right, who had it wasn't anybody who was right. Whoever hollered the loudest. You should hear my wife what she says to him when we're in an argument. Hey, stop fucking arguing with me. You're not changing my mind. I'm like, I'm not trying to change your mind. Yes, you are. Just shut the hell up. You damn dumb bastard. Yeah. Who's the biggest son of a bitch you know? You. All right. Oh, man. It's wonderful to live here. It really is. Between her and my kid, it's like, you know what? Really, I'm the swabby. Nolan Smith had no impact the first 3 weeks. Not much of an impact this week or moving forward. Wow. And you were going to pay that guy $25 million? Senor, this guy had no impact, and you were talking about paying him $25 million at the end of the year? Holy shit. So guys who had no impact on the team, and the other guy who was supposed to make $15 million a year in Reed Blankenship. Hey, by the way, that Reed Blankenship contract blew up. Now I know why. Because the Eagles informed him we won't be addressing your contract until next year. And that's why he got a new agent. It is clear and simple now. Reed Blankenship fired his agent because he couldn't get a deal done with the Eagles. And the Eagles told him, we're not addressing your deal until next March when free agency comes. Holy shit. That guy got put in his place quickly. Quickly. And now with the play of Jordan Davis now maybe gets Reed's money. Right? Maybe that money went, well, who the guy? Wait. Nolan Smith, Reed Blankenship, or Jordan Davis? Who are you paying this offseason? Right now, Jordan. Now, that could change. As a matter of fact, I'm moving on from Reed. Remember I told you that? He's replaceable. Reed Blankenship is replaceable. I say this is Reed Blankenship's final season as an Eagle. He'll be in the, what was that? That TJ Edwards deal? He'll be like that. He'll be moving on. They're going to move on from him, and they're probably going to go safety in the draft somewhere. They'll get a safety in next year's draft. They got 12 picks. And they'll put another kid back there, or they'll sign a free agent, experienced veteran. They'll put him back there with Kuba. Brown will be the rotating guy, and they're going to go there, and they're going to dummy it or cheap it down money-wise. Let's see. Yes, Balin. Okay. Nolan is a big loss. I think he's a big loss too. Oh, that's right, because they traded some of those, that's right, to the Jags for, what's his name? Fred Johnson. Absolutely. Slager, Hurts is not above criticism. No, I think everybody's, listen. Here, I'll give you a criticism of Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge just hit his 51st home run, right? Aaron Judge with the Yankees now is the only player in Yankee history to put 50 home runs seasons back to back. The only other guy is Babe Ruth. All right? He hasn't won a World Series. My opinion, well, when you're a New York Yankee, not having a World Series next to your name, I'm sorry, you're Dave Winfield. You're somebody like that. Great player. But if you don't win a World Series, you're not going to be held in Yankee lore like the other guys like Jeter and all them guys. You got to win a World Series, man. He's the Dan Marino of Major League Baseball when it comes to Yankee baseball. Got to win one. So, Judge is a great player. I think Cal Raleigh is the American League MVP. And unfortunately, I saw that Schwarber last night had a super year. Ohtani's winning that thing. Shohei Ohtani. He's winning it. And Dodger bullpen's killing him, though. So maybe, I don't know. That race, those two races are going to come down to the very end here, these last couple games, I think, for the MVPs in both leagues. Schwarber's right there, though, man. He really is. He's right there. Man, look at Ohtani's numbers, too, man. He strikes out almost 200 times. Incredible. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Please hit that like button. Yeah, so let me go here with this Nolan Smith injury. I said this morning. Here's this game right now as I see it, heading into Friday. Lane Johnson is not healthy. He's not healthy. You could make the argument that Tyler Steen has been the second best offensive lineman on the Eagles. I don't think Cam Jurgens looks very good. Go back and look at the film. He's getting worked. Arm overs, quick moves, power rushes. Against the run, they're stuffing him. He's not playing well. Now, I don't know if it's that back of his, but he's not looking very good. Landon is just injured. He looks a shell of himself. That's not the best O-line in football. That is not. That is not the best offensive line. And they don't look very good. And here's the thing you got to go into this Buck game thinking. Well, I get the Bucks. They've lost 3 dudes in their O-line. I get why they're not looking consistent and they're struggling against lesser teams a little. Well, what's your excuse? You got all your players. You got all your players except one. Mekhi Becton. What's your excuse? Why are you not playing well? I mean, why are you struggling? Every game is coming down to the opposing team having an opportunity to win games. Look, guys, Lane's been injured now, Sean. Last 2 weeks, he didn't play last week, the majority of that Rams game. And he's heading into this one banged up too. Right? Okay. So that O-line is not playing well, and it's affecting Barkley. And it's affecting Hurts. Hurts is the only reason you're 3-0. It's true. AJ's not getting the football. By the way, getting AJ the football in the second half of a game that you had to throw the ball, you did that out of necessity. That wasn't a game. Guys, do you get that wasn't a game plan? That was out of necessity that you threw the ball. That was an adjustment. So it wasn't part of the game plan. Throwing the ball wasn't part of the game plan. What? And Reyes throws those stats up, and you would think that they would have more confidence in throwing the ball in the first half. Steve's right. They did that out of desperation. They didn't do that out of a game plan. Do you understand? They didn't have that mentally. This is why they're not changing. That was not a game plan in the second half. That was out of desperation. Desperation is not a strategy. That was desperation, not part of Bill. So let me get this right. The Eagles spent all week. Remember how Nick says it's a collaborated effort? They spent all last week building the game plan together and not having really a fundamental passing approach. In a game against the Rams where the Rams are not very good in the secondary, and they have people like Emmanuel Forbes back there. Well, they got blown up in the first half. As Steve said, it's desperation. That's not a strategy. Get this. How many people believe in here that was an adjustment? An adjustment? An adjustment from what? Not having it involved in the game plan in the first half? That's what that guy's telling you. Let me. 6 IQ spike is telling you it was an adjustment. How can it be an adjustment when you have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith? How can they be an adjustment and not part of your first half game plan? That's an adjustment? And you don't have them part of the game plan? Spike's telling you everything that AJ's telling you. AJ was an adjustment. Okay? An adjustment and not part of the actual game plan. And what? So when you don't have A.J. Brown part of your game plan in the first half, and to go to Spike's comment here, the adjustment was we had to throw the ball. Well, what happened in the first half? That's exactly right. Spike just indicted his OC because he didn't have him part of the game plan in the first half. And I happen to agree with shit Spike, whatever it is. I think they thought they were going to run the ball down their throat like last year. That's right. That running game is just not where it needs to be, Jim. Think about this, Pat. So according to some people in here, they think that was an adjustment. An adjustment from what? Not having Devontae and AJ part of the game plan in the first half? So you're not involving your passing game? You don't trust Hurts. That's where I think Hurts and AJ are on the same page with this going, what are you doing? And then when AJ turns around and says they're not adjusting quick enough. You know why they're not adjusting quick enough? They're trying to ram home a game plan because their arrogance believes that game plan is 19-1 instead of Jalen Hurts being 19-1. Folks, they think they're that record. And they're getting in their own way of their great players. The Eagles are 3-0 because of everybody on that football team and on that roster right now. You got coaches that are getting in the way. They're winning in spite of. Get this. You've got the defending Super Bowl champions telling a head coach we're not adjusting quick enough. The training wheels continues. Like I tell you guys, my kid plays rugby for the San Diego Surfers. Okay? She's gotten the best coaching in the last 2 years that she got in 4 years in college. My kid is 27 times better than she was, and she was great at college. 3-year captain, all that I told you. But being around great coaches, putting you in positions to win. And then there was a situation this year where they didn't have quite the coach. The year before, we had this guy who was just like nationally world-renowned coach. Holy cow, and you're like this. My wife was taking notes going, everything this guy does, I'm doing. This last year, we were going like, wow. It was like falling off a cliff. He happens in the NFL. Look what they did to Jalen this year. Last year, he had a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator who got a job with the Saints and Kellen Moore, right? Then you gave him Nick Sirianni's buddy. And now you have players like A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts going, we don't adjust quick enough. Here's another problem. Take a look at that shot clock. Every time the play comes in, Jalen Hurts is at the line of scrimmage with 6 seconds left. He has no chance for audibles. Why is that? Because the coach doesn't have an in-game feel for situational play calling. How would he? He's never called a play. You really think that a guy was sitting at the dinner table and saw all of his buddies putting a game plan together, and then when you get the main headset to call a play and call plays in game, why do you think Vic is where he is now, Fangio, and that defense is so good? Vic's 40 years in the NFL as a defensive coordinator. There's nothing he hasn't seen. That guy could teach classes at Harvard. It's almost like NASA stuff on how he sees the game. He's not analytically driven. He's situationally driven. There's a difference. We should run this play because it says on paper and in the computer, 25% of the time on 3rd and 7, on this side of the ball, plus 50, we have to run this play. Fuck that. Give me a feel for the game. Where are we, man? Are we running them over? Keep running them over. Hate coaches who do that. They outthink themselves. And there's so many coaches that are so good, too. There's a guy that I was around for a while when my kid was in high school. This guy did everything right, got into a game, he shit the bed. I'm like, this guy's terrible, man, in game. I used to just laugh. I mean, And he was one of those guys, too, every time you played against a big opponent, oh, my God. And you're like, dude, you should be praying to play those teams, not being afraid to play those teams. The only way you're going to find out how good you are is you play great people, not tin cans. Hey, let me line up 25 tomato cans, and then I go out and I play somebody good and I get my face kicked in. Well, shit. They're setups. I don't want to play setups. I want to know how good I am or not. So analytics is a guide, not the reality. That's right. Dude, hey, get this. That's what AJ's talking about. You know why it takes so long to adjust? They're hanging on that game plan that Julian and all those guys got from upstairs. Do you understand when they go off script, they're basically Doug Peterson in them? And that's why Nick and Jalen don't move off it. You get that, right? Sills, I hate that our offense doesn't come out looking to take advantage of the bad pass defense. Hey, the Bucks are not that great back there yet. I don't think Antonio Winfield has played as good as I saw him play 3 years ago. Jamel Dean got a pick 6 last week. It's the Jets. It was Tyrod Taylor. It's not Jalen Hurts. I mean, the talent on this football team should be scoring 35 points a game. Do we not agree? I don't know how people don't look at that. You got A.J. Brown and all these players and Barkley, and how you're not number one in scoring every single year. Instead, you're farting around. You're into, hey, look, covering the Jets and covering the Eagles are two different things. The Jets are going nowhere. The Eagles have a shot to get back to the NFC Championship game. Vic had the best comment on analytics. He said, I use them, but I do them myself. I know the things that matter. That's the data I want to evaluate. Oh my God, he's everything anti-Eagle. Let me show you this right here. Hey, Mikey, I'm going to get to this. You see what Dime just wrote here? That's why Vic has the best defensive football team, maybe the last 2 years in Philly. He takes the analytics and he takes the information that he wants from like PFF and he applies to the ones that matter to him the most. He doesn't take all that shit. But you see, on the offensive side of the football, you know what you got? Remember, all the money's over there. They micromanage that side more because it's what the owner wants. High-powered offense. Well, isn't it funny? Hey, Jeffrey, you don't have a high-powered offense. You're 29th in passing. You were 29th last year in passing. What's the problem? You're not a high-powered offense with high-powered players. I think that's the frustration that people have. You've got high-powered players with not a high-powered offense. And it's frustrating to look at. Sounds like they are trying to live last year's glory when the glory is not achievable anymore. That way, with how teams are now adjusting. Yeah, hey, Mikey, you know how teams are adjusting? They're flooding the lanes with first, second down blitzes. And they know that the Eagles are not going to throw out of it because Hurts can't throw you out of trouble. You know why Hurts can't throw you out of trouble? The Eagles don't want him to throw. According to M. Reyes. Sleeper offense. See this here? It's not a sleeper offense. It's been put to sleep. It's not a sleeper offense. It's been put to sleep. And it comes out when desperation comes. Why would they bring back Dropkins? We need edge depth. I'll take the trenches before a cornerback. Dropkins. They didn't bring Quezzy back, did they? Please tell me no. Jesus Christ, with those receivers of theirs, man. These people sign more wide receivers, and that's got to be a Nick thing. I don't care about wide receivers on this team. They're irrelevant as it is. Did they bring Quez Watkins back? Why? Oh, punt return. Great. I'm sure his hands will be great. They didn't really. Wait a minute. Did they bring Dropkins back? Did they really bring Des Dropkins back? Des Dropkins is back. And that Gardner Johnson. Wait, let me sign a guy who can't catch the football, put him at kick returner, but not bring back Gardner Johnson, who helped us get to 2 Super Bowls on defense. Let me get rid of Oren Burks, who was only $3 million, who's now the second best linebacker against the run. Let me get rid of Isaiah Rodgers, who's now the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And then also Bryce Huff, who's now the 7th-ranked edge rusher. Okay. And then let me bring back Queasy Dropkins. Hey, holy shit. Hang on for a minute. Let's get Queasy Dropkins. Good night, almighty, man. They didn't do that. I don't believe it. I got to take a look at this. Hold on. Did they really bring back Queasy Watkins? Holy cow. Eagles, hold on. I got to confirm this because I don't believe it. No way. They didn't make a move and bring back Queasy. Here's the injury list. Zach Bond, knee. Jahad Campbell, triceps. Adoree Jackson did not play, did not practice. Lane, stinger, left practice. Tanner McKeon is right thumb. Okay. Queasy Watkins is back. They tried to hide it. I would too. Holy cow. Watkins is back. Hey. Oh my God. Fucking how he's hitting aces this offseason, man. Or 2025, man. He's on his, it's Howie season, baby. Okay. John McMullen tweeted a pic of him on the field today. One to save. Holy shit. Oh my God. Queasy Watkins. I don't know why I keep clicking on there. Hold on here. I'm not even going to say anything. Hey, this is the first time right after I gave it. Oh my God, Emrius, that's the best one here. Let's go. That's funny. Practice squad. Oh, hey, okay, shit. At least it's practice squad. He didn't say that Jalen didn't have the ability to throw out of pocket. He said coaching won't allow him to. Yes, exactly. Yes. That's not what I said. You're right, Ray. They're not allowing him to. He's got all those great numbers in the pocket. And they don't trust him. Do you think they trust him? Do you? Sills, should Batula go upstairs to see the offense and defense better? Do OCs perform better upstairs or on the field? Can I tell you why? Why do you think he's downstairs? Why do you think he's downstairs? And why do you think Vic's not downstairs on the field with his team? Of course, they trust him. Really? I don't think so. Bingo. Bingo. Nick's in his ear. You can talk to your guy more right there on the sidelines without everyone hearing you. You go upstairs, you're open mic to everybody, and everybody hears you. Head coach has a switch. There's 3 switches. He can listen to just the defense. He can just listen to the offense. Put it in the middle. He can listen to everyone. Okay? That's the head coach's headset. It's the only one that has that dynamic. Okay? I think the other ones, the 2 have your position coach. If you're a position coach, it's your coordinator and the head coach. That you can listen to the head coach who talks to all. I think that's how the headsets work. Okay? Too many distractions on the sidelines. I'm sure Nick trusts everybody that wears a headset. Oh, I'm pretty sure of it too. I wish he trusted his quarterback more. Don't you? Instead of that ridiculous game plan they come up with. Hey, ask yourself this. Did Nick all of a sudden swallow stupid pills? And why the offense isn't playing well? Last year he had injuries. Jordan Mailata missed 4 games. Lane missed games. How many games did AJ miss? How many games did Devontae miss? They were hurting the O-line last year too early, weren't they? How come last year wasn't a train wreck? This year looks a little unorganized. How come it looks a little unorganized? What's the difference? Play caller, maybe? I both missed 3 games. Okay, so your wide receivers missed 3 games. Mailata missed 4. I think Lane missed 2 because Fred filled in for all of them, right? What happened? All of a sudden, what? Nick swallowed stupid pills? Oh, no, not Nick. He's on his way, according to Reuben Franks, as a fucking NFL Hall of Famer. Yeah. NFL Hall of Famer, my ass. Sills, I have a theory. I think Nick got neutered at halftime. By how? No way. They're not doing that at halftime. Nick, Howie's not in his ear at halftime. I don't think. Hey. So AJ Brown doubled down on this bullshit, man. I gotta love. Hey, dude, I'm gonna take back all the bullshit I said about AJ. Because this guy, man, I'll tell you what, fuck those press conferences. Bob Lang needs to go over and be more worried about when AJ's got the mic in front of him, because you know what AJ's doing now? Yeah, those dumb motherfuckers aren't getting to playing on time. Secondly, we're adjusting too late. And everyone's at the press conference listening to like somebody over on in Washington, D.C. at one of those Senate hearings. And here's Jailing. No comment, Fifth Amendment. Yes, I take the fifth. Jalen should have just said at his presser yesterday, don't you think? I take the fifth. And here's AJ blowing everyone up. Yeah, we can't adjust on time. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. Oh, man, I love AJ Brown. I'm not going to lie to you. And then the move of the day. You guys bring Queasy Dropkins back. Oh, my God. You need a fucking edge rusher, and you got to bring Queasy Dropkins back. Oof, boy. So do you believe it? Do you think they trust Jalen? Do you? I think so. KCA. Sills, why do you think they take the ball out of Hurts' hands last year? Well, dude, last year the running game was one of the best running attacks in NFL history. Okay? I mean, I don't really think it had anything to do, but Jalen had a lot of turnovers in the first 4 games, if you remember, and that was coming off a year ago where he had quite a few turnovers too and interceptions. Last year when we ran against loaded boxes and our defense stopped the run with 4 fronts, that was exception. We should not expect that to continue. And you're absolutely right. Did someone get hurt? I don't know about what. I don't know, dude. Yes, but they're also holding him back to an extent. Absolutely. Dude, they're going over to the sidelines. And what is his name? Chip Patullo. I got a new name. Hey, dude, that's like Trump, isn't it? Chip Patullo. I'm going to tweet that out. Hold on for a second. The new name for the coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles is Chip Patullo. Oh, my God. Oh, dude. Nolan Smith goes down. Poor kid, man. Honestly. That's so sucky, man, because the kid, I mean, he really had a chance to make himself some money. Unfortunately, he's not part of the future there. You're going to need another edge rusher. I mean, I don't know what happened to old Bryce Huff, but all of a sudden he got an injection of, I don't know, top 10 edge rusher. It must be that San Francisco love out there, baby. Smoking on that hookie pipe or something. He's getting it done out there. Now, again, Robert Saleh's with him, who was with him in New York with the Jets. All right. We'll have Jason Cole with us. We haven't had him on in a while. We'll do that. Our Hall of Fame voter. Hall of Fame came out, by the way, with nominees. We'll do that as well. And some NFL news. That'll be at 4:30. But without further ado, our friend Big Z, Xander Kraus, joins us now.
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
Boy, I mean, A.J. Brown, I got to tell you, between Vic Fangio and A.J., that's a ticket that I want to go to every single movie and watch these two guys, man, because I'll tell you what, they're doubling down on everything, on what these guys are saying right now and how they're approaching this year so far. So let me ask you right out of the gate here. Is there an issue? I'll ask you this like I asked you last year. Is there an issue with AJ and Hurts, or is there an issue with AJ and Chip Patullo?
No issue with AJ. I will say I'm Team AJ. By the way, good to talk to you here on a Thursday, Big Sills.
Absolutely, my friend.
How's everybody doing here? I'm ready for week 4 in the NFL. Week 4 to Philadelphia Eagles. Another win probably coming for our Eagles. It's safe to probably think that, at least at this point. But no, I think I'm Team AJ here. I mean, look, AJ makes a lot of sense. I think we keep using this 19-1, and I do understand it. And I think that's probably why you have Hurts good with it, because I think Hurts really does care about winning. But at the end of the day, 17 of the 20 games in that window were last season, where you had historic run game, historic offensive line. You know, John brings it up. He talked to a general manager last year about the Eagles' offensive line, and they told John, this might be, forget the best offensive line this year. This is one of the best offensive lines I've ever seen in my life. So you had that last year. They're clearly not playing that way. And what does that mean? You know, that means you have to win games different ways. That means you have to change your formula a little bit. That means you have to continue to evolve, you know, to make sure that teams aren't catching up with you. And, you know, you got A.J. Brown out there who's like, hey, look, we got to be more aggressive. We can't be afraid to dictate the game a little bit more. And that's all he's saying. I think he's makes a lot of sense. And the Eagles would be wise to probably, you know, listen to him. Now, how much do you gauge? Is he right versus does he just want the ball? Because he probably does just want the ball, but I happen to think he's pretty right about the offense right now.
I think he's talking more about adjustments.
I agree.
Okay, so you made a comment, and I thought about that comment last night pretty much all night when you said this. Well, they adjusted in the second half. So is your intention that you told what you're saying is that the game plan in the first half didn't have AJ and Devontae Smith involved in the game plan? And that wasn't part of the game plan, and they had to evolve it more to throw the ball in the second half? Well, dude, if you're not involving those guys more in the first half game plan, and that's an adjustment, well, I want that game plan reevaluated and how you're going about winning ball games. AJ and Devontae can't be adjustments, Xander. They got to be part of the game plan.
Yeah, I agree. That's where I think it's, I think you're 100% right. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I can't remember a team having an MVP, Super Bowl MVP quarterback that didn't put the ball in his hands and trust him to run the offense that was going to, be the best. Look, I think it's kind of tough to gauge right now because we can all see with our own eyes that it's not perfect. It's not pretty. It's not flowing. It's not in rhythm. It's not what it could be. But at the same time, like, we are 19-1, so I get it. Like, I understand people who are like, well, what? I don't understand, And the other good point is, like, we talked about the schedule. Early year was a tough schedule, right? We came into the year, okay, you got 4 tough games to start. They're 3-0, and it's like now it's shifted to, we want to judge how they won instead of just like whether they won. They're 3-0 in the tough part of the schedule in September. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't look how we wanted it to look or we thought it would look, but like, welcome to football. Like, basically no game looks how you think it's going to look. So I don't know. It's kind of tough for me to gauge. I think in my heart and in my football brain, I want to see it be more prolific, but at the end of the day, by Thursday now, I'm ready to be a little bit more patient on it and see, what they're able to do. But I will stand by this. I don't think they can just have the same approach as last year and expect it to work as well as it did last year. I don't think that's a fair assumption, and I don't think that's a winning philosophy coming in.
You think Hurts doesn't demand the ball more? Screw AJ. How about Hurts demanding it more? Like, how about him demanding this?
Right.
Instead of, you know what? So when who do you think he's taking a shot at, AJ, when they say they're not adjusting quick enough? Is that on the quarterback or is that on the coordinator? Isn't that a quarterback's responsibility to adjust in game and not so much the coordinator? Because the quarterback's got to take control of his own offense. You keep telling me this is his offense. Well, if this is Jalen Hurts' offense, doesn't he have to take control of more on the adjustments?
I think it's both, honestly. I really do.
Okay.
I don't think he's absolved of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you're the quarterback, you get praise when you win Super Bowls. And like, when things don't look perfect, you naturally have to take some of the blame. That's just the nature of the beast. So, the one thing I would say that I've noticed that I'd like to see Jalen, take another step forward in, at least, and I can only tell from watching the All-22. I just rewatched it again today. It was good All-22. Jordan Davis sticks out like a sore thumb in a good way. But Jalen Hurts does a great job of checking in between passing and runs at the line of scrimmage, but he's not checking into those hot routes at all. He's not picking up blitzes and pressure and putting his team in the position.
Is that them telling him to do it that way, though?
I don't think so. Like, dude, hot routes are not a coordinator's responsibility. They're built into the offense, and the quarterback has to identify the defensive coverage in the 15 seconds he has to hike the ball and audible and call a hot route to receiver. So, like, that's the one area where I think it's fair to say, all right, Jalen's got, because they're blitzing him right now, 48% of his dropbacks. That is a crazy number.
Crazy.
I mean, you had 15 zero blitzes from Steve Spags in week 2. That's unheard of. So, like, what's the one way to beat that and stop that? You throw it right behind him and make him pay. And I like the go routes and all, but at the end of the day, it's a little bit more long developing. Like, give me a quick slant for AJ. He'll catch it 5 yards and take it another 15. Especially if there's only one defender out there in a zero blitz. He's going to get he might take it, 40 yards because they can't tackle him. So that's the one area I would say on Jalen. The area I would say on the coaches is just the attack philosophy. Like, I feel like they don't come in and act like they have the best offensive personnel in football. It's like, let's pussyfoot our way into the game. Let's see what kind of holes open up. Let's see what the defense is doing. F that, man. Come in like you got the knockout punch, because you do, and play that way. Now, I think the gray area here is like when people say that, they're like, well, we don't want to turn the ball over. It's like, guys, you're not curing cancer by saying that. Like, dude, I know. No shit, we don't want Jalen to turn the ball over. I'm not saying go and put the ball in harm's way, but at the end of the day, don't be so conservative that you end up with, -1 passing yards and a half, 0 touchdowns and 0 picks in 3 games. That's not I don't think that's the right way either. So where's the gray area? Where's the middle where you can attack and also protect at the same time? Get your playmakers involved, because I honestly believe if they get these playmakers involved, Saquon Barkley's going to start running again really well. I think they're too right now. They're too choppy. They're not consistent enough through the air where, defenses don't have to worry as much about it as they should. Get them on their heels, and then I think things will open up for Saquon and the whole offense at large.
Little update here. Zach Bond and Jahad Campbell and Adoree Jackson all returned to practice today, so that's a good sign here. Do you think Jalen?
I was kind of hoping Adoree didn't play, honestly, but
who are you going to put in his place?
Well, because he's been so meh, like how much worse can Ringo be? Like, do you think Ringo has a bigger upside than Adoree, or no? Do you not? I feel like that's.
Don't you think Vic would put that out there though if he did?
Well, I think, remember, Vic's kind of facing 2 battles because he's got to win a football game here and now. You know what I mean? Like, I think Adoree's probably the safer option for Vic in the zone-based defense where the veteran players can keep things in front of him.
What I mean by that is football IQ. I'm not talking about like smarts and. You think?
No, I know what you meant. I don't know. I don't know. I part of me just kind of wants to see Keely because it's like, what do we have to lose?
Oh, we're going to see him this week.
You think so?
I do. Well,
I mean, Adoree's 2 of the 3 games, right? Adoree's came out early because of injury, so yeah, probably
he's going to play.
He's this year's Slay, except he sucks. Slay was actually good.
You think Jalen's too much of a company man?
Nobody is a company man. He is. That's just how he was raised, I think, man. He's a coach's kid, used to being coached. Not the type of dude that dictates. Well,
that's the problem.
Well, I mean, look, at the end of the day,
that's why the adjustments.
You're the opposite of that. I've always been the opposite of that. I was the guy who was sent to the principal's office every day, every other day growing up. So it's like, I get it. Me and you probably look at that and we're like, yeah, that ain't me. Get what you want. But look, I think Jalen honestly cares about winning, man. If they weren't winning, I think he'd be like, yo, 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 yo. But they're winning, and I think he's like, look, at the end of the day, that's all I care about. And if we get a W, I'll look at what we got to do better, but I'm not going to blow anything up. There's no need to blow anything up. And the record speaks for itself. So, yeah, and I think Rayburn's a good point here, too. I mean, you're the face of the franchise. By default, you're a company man. Like, literally, you have no choice if you think about it. It's not his organization. It's Jeffrey Lurie's.
No, but I think that's exactly why sometimes it looks so cookie cutter, is that instead of the quarterback taking the onus of here, let me ask you something here with Brady. You think Brady was a company man?
It's a good way to put it. Probably not.
I think a
little bit.
I think Brady was a company man.
Yeah, but Brady had a little bit more of a sense of, they just expressed themselves very differently. It's almost hard to compare the players because
he didn't have no Twitter up there. He wasn't a vocal guy.
But I know. But you know what you knew? Like, the difference between Jalen and Brady in this sense is you knew on the sideline through the TV when Brady wasn't happy with his offense.
But that came along when he got older.
Dude was breaking iPads. You know what I mean?
He didn't do that earlier, though. He didn't do any of that earlier.
I remember his early days a lot less than his late days. But I would just say they have a very different, and hey, look, maybe that's Jalen's arc too. I mean, you saw him a little bit more on the sidelines this year than you're used to. So maybe. I mean, Brady was probably a company man, but Brady at the end of the day,
company man early.
Didn't it always feel like, though, the New England offense was ran by Brady? Like, you knew, like, if Brady didn't like something, he had the power to shift it and to change it and to dictate what they were going to do differently. Whether it worked or not, it's not the point.
But
I don't know if you feel that yet with Jalen. Like, we're like, is it Nick? Is it Kellen? Is it Kevin Patullo?
Okay.
Is it? So it's like.
So let's take a look at that. All he did was check down, short passes, not high percentage turnover plays, not turning the ball over, not wanting to make sure that, guess what, the run game was important to them. Remember the run game? And the check down. Why did they do check downs? They didn't want turnovers. And it's kind of almost a pseudo way of looking at how they're looking at Jalen Hurts.
I
They're
look at it a
it's
little differently with Brady.
dude, Brady wasn't a high volume. He wasn't a high volume plus 25 passer. He was a high volume passer. If
Yeah,
you
but
look at
their
his number,
checkdowns set up their chances, and he took chances down the
bro,
field.
they weren't a plus 25 team until Moss got there.
Well, I mean, you might be right about that. I'm just saying in general, like if you think about the difference, like Tom doesn't have his
Well, it's
legs.
a different skill set.
Right. So it's like checkdowns were a lot more common, obviously, for a quarterback that can't run because it's
Right.
like if you have to get out
That's
of
their
dodge,
form of running.
right, you have to check it down. Jalen, a lot of take Tom's checkdowns and then match him up with how many times Jalen's rushed when it wasn't a quarterback called run.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like the numbers might match up a little bit better if Jalen were that way. So I don't know. Tom Brady did push the ball though, dude.
Well, again, there wasn't a lot of plus 25 stuff. I mean, he was a check down king, man. Look at all those attempts that he had every year. They were all low percentage turnover plays.
Listen to Brady's first 4 years, stat wise. Like this is where I think we're too tough on Jalen. 28-43 year one, he played 14 games started. 37-64, 16 games. 36-20, 16 games. 36-92, 16 games. And then the next year he broke 4,000, 4,100, and then he went back to 3,500. So it's like 5 of his first 6 seasons.
Correct.
Tom Brady was under 4,000 yards. Now, very different style of player, but I don't know. Like
They didn't trust him early.
Well, is that the same thing with Jalen? I mean, we got to remember Jalen's pretty young still.
Yeah.
He's not even, he's 20, what is he, 27? Yeah, 27.
Do you think the organization trusts him?
I think they're trusting him more and more, but I think it's fair to say they still
You're
want
in your
him.
6th year.
Well, I mean, I just gave you the Brady numbers.
Okay.
If they didn't trust him through 2006, that was his 6th year.
I agree. No, but I'm saying, well, then why is that such a hard thing for Eagle fans to believe that watching the coaching staff play? M. Reyes posted all those great numbers with Jalen in the pocket. You have all those numbers, and guess what? Your low volume in passing. Get this. M. Reyes here. Get this. They trust Jalen. He posted those numbers about him in the pocket. Why aren't you doing it more? Why isn't that part of your game plan?
What were the numbers? I didn't see.
He was like 2nd in the league a year ago from the pocket. And I know it's lower volume, okay?
Yeah, it was much lower volume.
He had like the ratings were great from the pocket. M. Reyes, put that back up again if you can.
Yeah, but the problem with those stats is they're very skewed for a quarterback like Jalen Hurts because if it's not there, if the play's not there, he has the ability to escape and run. If you have but hear me out. If you have a quarterback from the pocket and the play breaks down and they can't escape and run, what do? They probably get sacked or they throw the ball away. So the completion rate, the yards per attempt, all of those things go down a lot. So Jalen, it's a little bit of a skewed stat because Jalen is a dual threat quarterback.
Yeah, but look, okay, wait. If you're telling me they can pass all the time and this guy's putting these numbers up and passing is not part of the game plan, it was in the first half last week, and you have these kind of numbers from the pocket here, and your guy can get out in space, and passing is not part of the adjustments, and AJ's an adjustment. I mean, that to me is like telling me right there, well, the kid can do it. We saw him in the Super Bowl. I saw him against the Steelers. I saw him against the Ravens. I saw him against the Commanders. What are we doing here? Well, we're going to adjust because of being desperate when the kid can do it. Yeah, I think that's AJ and Hurts's complaint going to the sidelines. Yeah, but why are we not throwing it more? We're effective when we throw it.
Yeah, well, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, my point about these numbers specifically were completion rates high, yes, but it's like when the play broke down and he would have had a lower completion rate, Jalen has the ability to run. So there's less negative plays from the pocket because Jalen can scramble versus if Tom Brady's in the pocket and the play breaks down, he's throwing the ball.
But that makes Hurts more of a threat if I can throw in.
It does, but it also skews these numbers to be higher.
But they're limiting him not being part of the game plan by not throwing. You're limiting his effectiveness and his being a weapon when they know that that's not part of the game plan. If I know that Jalen's not going to be throwing high volume in the first half, Xander, I'm not going to be concerned about your your passing game. They want to establish the run game. Look at what they're doing. And what the problem now is becoming is, hey, bro, do you think you have the best O-line in football?
Not this year, but I don't know. I mean, I've watched, I've been rewatching more of the games from around the league because whenever we have a 1:00 game, Sills, it's tough because I do the pregame show, then I watch the Eagles, then I do the postgame show, and it's like I don't see any of the football that happened that day, so I missed a lot of it. But I went back and rewatched it. I'll tell you what, who had a good game this weekend? Carson Wentz. He looked good, man. He looked good. He still reads the defense beautifully, executes the ball, throws it in the tight windows. I thought he had a good game.
I thought he played really well.
Yeah, I mean, there were some moments he still takes some shitty sacks and stuff, but I thought he had a good game this weekend. I think he has a chance to be pretty good with that Vikings team. They're getting Jordan Addison back.
You think
now.
he could be a Sam Darnold of this year?
I think that's going to be Daniel Jones.
Okay,
Sam Darnold of this year, who
okay.
I think I like Daniel Jones right now. I mean, if you watch him play right now, it's going to sound a little ridiculous, but I saw somebody put it on Twitter, and I can see where they're going. Not Josh Allen, obviously talent, but like he does play a little bit like Josh Allen. Like he plays on the move. He can use his leg. Again, I'm not saying.
No, you're talking skill set.
I'm not saying Daniel Jones is as good as Josh Allen. All right, Josh Allen's my number one quarterback in football. I'm just saying it's kind of that type of quarterback where you can play with him out of the pocket. You can run the ball a little bit. He still does have a big arm. So, yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of good football being played. I get it, but I just want this Eagles team to be more prolific. I just want them to act like they got the players. Look, they got the best person. I don't think one of these teams that we're talking about has better offensive players than the Eagles. I really don't.
No.
Now, their offensive line's not playing like the best in football right now, but that doesn't change that. You still got the guys you have on the outside. So we'll see what they end up doing. As long as they keep winning, I think we'll all be pretty happy. But, I just don't think they're going to be able to run their way to a Super Bowl again this year.
Why is Todd Bowles 4-1 versus Philly?
Because he's a good coach. I think he's got a good game plan. I think he coaches.
I'm so happy you started there and not talk to me about injuries because welcome to the NFL.
Well, I mean, injuries do matter, but you're right. You're right. Okay, yeah, I agree. Look, injuries matter, but you're right in that, it is how it goes. Like, that doesn't change. It's coulda, shoulda, woulda. Everyone gets mad when we play coulda, shoulda, woulda. All right, well, we woulda won if AJ played.
Didn't you guys lose Mulata for 4 weeks last year? Didn't you lose Lane for 2? Didn't AJ and Devontae miss 3 games? These guys still won 14 ball games.
Yeah. No,
I agree with you. Fucking NFL, dude.
I agree with you. Well, just back to my answer. I mean, Todd Bowles is a good coach. My favorite part about the way Todd Bowles coaches is he doesn't coach you to be a soft player. Like he says think about this. When you ask another coach about the tush push, right? This is just an interesting play to gauge a coach on because you ask a coach about the tush push and you hear certain coaches, the play sucks. The play should be out of the game. The play is this, blah, blah, blah. Now I think about what does that coach say behind closed doors to his team? Do you give them an excuse on things? Do you give them a soft way out of things? And then you listen to Todd Bowles and he's like, fucking stop the play. Like, what coach do you want, seeping into your brain? What coach do you want teaching you how to prepare for a game on Sunday? The coach that says, I don't give a shit about your excuses, get it done, or the one who says, yeah, you guys are right. It's so unfair to you. It's such an what? Come on, man. So I think I like Todd Bowles from that approach because I think they play with the right mindset there. I think he deserves deserves a lot of credit. We had Rob Motti on this morning and talked obviously very highly of them too. He's, he was formerly in Philly, covers the NFL for the AP now, and he lives down near Tampa. So he sees that team pretty up close and personal. But, I like the way they're coached and I like their quarterback. I think their quarterback plays with a tenacity that you can't teach. He plays with a vigor and a will to win that I admire and I respect. Similar to Jalen in that regard, you can tell they're both real winners. They both want to win, will do whatever it takes to win. And I think that's why the Bucs have beat us, man. I think they're, aggressive, physical, and they play a good brand of football.
So Todd Bowles has a mentality that you just said. That's a tough winning mentality and doesn't make excuses for the tush push.
I like it, yeah.
So Nick Sirianni makes an excuse for the fucking Heat that they're going down the day before. And to me, isn't that the mindset you're talking about? One guy's talking and not making excuses about the tush push, and the other guys making excuses about the yeet. Is that the stuff you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Nick doesn't do that often. Like, he doesn't give that much excuses often. This was one of the first times that Nick kind of really, like, embraced that
Someone
there was
told him this.
Yeah, and I don't know. At
I
first,
don't buy that that's his decision. I do not.
I don't know, because I will say this, like, as a person who, does have to make decisions, like, in my own life, in my business, and all those different things, like, I can appreciate him looking and saying, we are 1-4 versus the Bucks. Let's try and do something a little different right now this time to try and, so I can appreciate that. I just don't know if this was the right thing to do it on. But, hey, look, it's, again, he deserves the benefit of the doubt, I think, on things like these.
He does.
And I agree with you in a sense. You kind of almost bring light to it. It's almost like you, like, put it in your team's head, like, yeah, the Heat's going to be a problem.
You put a spotlight.
I love Jalen's answer yesterday. They were like, how do you prepare for playing in heat like this? And he's like, I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I got to go get the job done. No matter what the fucking weather is.
Dude, he played in Tuscaloosa. He's all right.
Yeah, I know Jalen's all right, but it is hot out there. I don't know. You heard Vic. We don't even want 8-play drives.
Absolutely. So I got Howie season, right? So let me ask you something here about Howie season.
Oh, here we go.
So Bryce Huff's ranked number 7 as an edge rusher in the first 12 quarters of the NFL. Isaiah Rodgers was just named the defensive player of the week on the defensive side. Orton Burks is a second-rated run-stopping linebacker in pro football. And all these guys were just escorted out of NovaCare and just told, we're going to do this and I'll see you later. And then you bring me Aziza Ojalara and you bring me some of these other guys. You make a move for a Bennett. What happened to him? He's on the fucking IR already. I mean, and then you bring me Joshua Uche, who, by the way, might be the highest rated edge rusher that the Eagles have right now if you use PFF. I'll ask you one more time outside of the draft. Howie season, baby. How you think it's gone?
Well, I think it's going all right. I mean, I think there's still some moves to be made here, and I think he probably missed on a couple moves. But look, you're never going to be perfect. I think at the end of the day, we still have a pretty good roster that Howie deserves credit for. Now, there were moves, I agree, where you're like, all right, that probably wasn't that great. But
was the standard too high last year? Because look, dude, the 3 Bs, right? Becton, Bond, and Barkley. We're all pros. I mean, Becton was a Pro Bowl player. Barkley was runner-up.
Pro Bowler?
Well, he played like one. He did. I thought he was. I thought he had Pro Bowl ability a year ago. Bond was a first-team All-Pro. And then, dude, look at the move, too. You bring in Isaiah. You have him a year. You sit his ass. You put him in there. Dude, the Burks move turned out to be a brilliant move. There's no brilliant move right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I hear you and all, but
you don't want to bite it.
No, I'm not biting it yet. I'm not. Look, at the end of the day, wait a second now, because I'm waiting on. There's a couple more weeks. I'm waiting for something.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to tell you and John that you guys might have been a little wrong on the defense. Now, it's too early to say that yet, but you guys had them at like 15th. You thought they were going to be a top 15 unit.
Right now,
Vic got them playing better. Vic Howie again got him 2 draft picks that he's been able to start in year 1 and have been viable. So I'm not going to look. Did Howie make every perfect move? Probably not. Was there a splash move? No. Have the team moves worked out? No, they haven't at all. But we drafted exceptionally well. I got no concerns about the defense. I'm sorry. I just don't. If this team, Sills, doesn't accomplish what we want them to accomplish this year, I'm sorry, but I don't think it's going to be on the defense. I really believe that. So, I don't think it's going to be on the defense.
I picked them to be 15th. Well, right now they're 18th. So, hang in there a little bit.
Right now?
Yeah, they're 18th.
No, they're not. 18th.
They're 18th in total defense.
There you go. There's Big Silly making shit up again.
Okay. Take a look at it.
No, they might be. I don't know.
They are. They're 18th.
Yeah, it's brutal. They got to get better.
They're 18th in total defense.
They said 15 and we had 18. Oh, shit, folks. Shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yo, Drew, shut up, Drew.
Oh
Come
my
on,
God.
Drew. Are you kidding me, man? I don't know, man.
Hey, look, it's way too early for that. Way too early for that.
It is. It's too early. I think they're going to be higher, though. I really do. I think they're going to be fine. I'll say it again. I don't think this defense is going to be the reason that we don't prevail.
Can I tell you your downfall will be? Your edge rushers, man, are just not getting it done. You're right. Listen, it's your two tackles.
They weren't getting it done when Nolan was healthy.
They weren't. And here's listen, your tackles are Xander, your two tackles are inside here, right? Now check it out. Watch me here. So when they hit and they play and these edges are getting swashed down, you're getting condensed and they're getting outside. It's not the interior play. Right. It's the external tackle play, and they're getting washed down. You think they go get trade? They're not going to trade Trayvon Walker because
you know what the problem is.
What?
This is why
the Jags are 2-1.
Dude, and Trayvon Walker's playing good. He's already got 2 sacks this year. He's playing great against the run. He's a good dude. Their defense in Jacksonville is pretty legit. They got a good defense right now in Jacksonville. I'll tell you what, that's another team I've been a little bit interested in right now. I think 2-1 to start.
Yep.
So that's going to be interesting to see.
What's your biggest?
But they're not trading him now.
What's your biggest concern heading into the Bucs game?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not really that concerned about this game. I mean, it's going to be a tough opponent. We're probably not going to be able to run well because they got Vita Vea, and we've basically never been able to run well against it. They've been a great run defense team for years. I mean, they just had. They got Vita Vea. Now they're missing Cansey, but they're still going to be, I think pretty good against the run. So that's something to keep an eye on, obviously. So are you going to be able to pass the ball successfully? But they're missing a lot of guys, dude. Like you just said, our edges are a problem. Well, it's like you would hope right now that our edges, if there is a game that they can prevail or look better, it's this game. Because, dude, think about this. I want everybody to listen to this. Rob Motti told me this morning. I did not know this. Last week, the Buccaneers left tackle was their center.
Yes.
They moved their center.
Graham Barton.
To the left. Imagine if we moved Cam Jurgens to left tackle.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second.
And he's played
you
well
hear that type of versatility. Now, that's impressive on the player, but it also shows you. I know, but it just shows you, like, they're kind of in dire straits. Like, you don't move a center to left tackle unless you're kind of fucked. Now, they're getting Tristan Wirfs back, presumably, maybe, for this game. He could line up on the left tackle or the right tackle. He's been all-pro at both, which is insane, Tristan Wirfs. But so depending on where he goes, but I feel like the Eagles' edge rushers should be able to have a good.
Let me tell you what I said they should do. The Buccaneers. Where's the threat on the Eagle D line? It's interior, right? Right. I think you should move Graham Barton back to center. I think you should put Tristan Wirfs at left tackle, and then you put Charlie Heck over at the right tackle. You know why? Your edge rushers have been non-factors. They've been non-factors. I'd rather see Charlie Heck in the run game than in pass protection. And Mayfield has had to use his wheels. If you don't get any pressure, that means the tight end's going to become a factor in this game. And they're going to threaten the middle of the field. Mike Evans not being there kills them big time. Okay? And losing Cody Mauch there's no doubt they got musical chairs in that whole scenario there. So that means that Emeka Egbuka is going to see a lot of Q in his face. That means that kid Sterling Shepard, it's going to have to be a factor. And here's the deal, Xander. If Mayfield is going to move the chains, he's going to move it with his feet because that's what he's done for 3 games. You gave me that stat yesterday. He's the second quarterback in the NFL with the quickest release in the game, only behind Aaron Rodgers. Well, why is
no, only behind
Sam Darnold?
No, I think Mahomes was one.
Okay.
Wait, who was it?
So
Aaron was right behind him. But go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so he's second in the league in that. Well, that's because the old line's been musical chairs the entire time.
Yeah, Mahomes is one, and Baker's two.
And so for me, it's going to come down to whether or not they can get pressure. Dude, I think Levante David is going to do a lot of blitzing in this game. And that's going to be something that Hurts is going to have to contend with.
That's going to be interesting. That would be interesting.
Okay, what do you make of Todd Bowles versus Kevin Patullo in this game?
Well, who do you think has the advantage in that game or in that matchup? Are you kidding me? I mean, that's Todd Bowles all over the place.
How would you attack the Bucks?
Well, it's tough to run on
How
them.
would you? Not what they're
right.
going to do. How would you do it?
Like to play a little bit more traditional, get them into play action a little bit, throw the ball around. But we just don't do that. I know. I just dream every day. I dream about what we should be, but we're not, and that's okay.
I would drop AJ in the slot and throw it out of the slot to him.
That's interesting. How are their corners?
Not very good. They're 22nd in pass defense.
I don't know. AJ's not going to go to the slot, I don't think.
I know. Haven't we ever tried to do something creative to get him in space to go against lesser talented people? Right. I mean, my God almighty. I mean, why not? I mean, hey, you're right. You're probably right, Xander. They're probably not going to do anything creative because that's just not what they're going to do. I mean, come on, dude. They're pass defense. Let me tell you where the Bucks are 19th in pass defense. And you got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And the Bucks are number 6 in rush defense. What the hell do you think you should do? Yeah, I mean, you should get the ball. Dude, force the ball to him.
Yeah, throw the ball. Throw the ball. I literally think you can force the ball to A.J. Brown.
I do too.
Legitimately. Like, force it. And just you'll live with the results. I mean, they started doing that in the second half. I had somebody say in the comment, well, why did A.J. start getting open in the second half? I'm like, he didn't.
He was always open.
Right. They just started throwing him the football. I mean, half his catches, he was muscling guys off him. That's part of having A.J. Brown. You have that advantage. That's why he calls himself hey, always open, baby. Come on, throw him the ball.
That's why he's complaining like a crazy man, and I don't blame him. All right, so let's go here. The Nolan Smith injury. What ramifications does his injury have as a Philadelphia Eagle?
Whose injury?
Nolan Smith's.
Big ramifications. The edge rushers aren't good right now, and they just lost their best.
All of it, too. I made a comment yesterday. Your guys pulled a great quote. That guy's not part of your future, man.
Yeah, I know. I know they pulled that. I'm like, uh-oh. Brace for impact on that one.
Do you think he is?
Is Nolan part of the future? I'm going to say yes. I don't think that they're going to blow out all these guys. So you got them blowing out Nakobe. You got them blowing out Nolan. You got them blowing out Jordan Davis. I think they want some of these guys.
I don't know about Jordan Davis anymore.
Jordan Davis are going to keep. Can I just say, Jordan, I was rewatching the All-22 today. Dude, Jordan Davis has arrived. He's a beast. He was moving those offensive linemen like they weren't even fucking there.
I know.
Moving right around him, scooting around him, lining up in the 3 technique, playing the pass. He's got more pass rushing snaps this year through the first 3 games than he's ever had in his career. He's lining up as a regular 3-tech defensive tackle more than he ever has through the first 3 games. He's at nose less than he ever has been in his career. Jordan fucking Davis is coming, baby.
Okay. Hey, I want to see it for 17 weeks.
Come on, man.
I'll give him credit for this. Since week 13 of last year, he's gotten better, and he's continuing to get better. But I keep saying this, as a unit, you're fucking 20. You're 18th. I mean, where are we going here? We're talking about last year you were first in total defense and rush defense right now. What are you guys, 24th in rush defense? And you're trying to tell me, you're 24th in rush defense. And
it's a liar's month, dude. It's a liar's month.
What are you selling me?
Well, you're selling me. See,
I'm not selling you. I'm telling you who you are right now.
Every time I try,
I'm not selling you.
Shut up. Every time I try and sell you something good, you say it's 3 fucking games, and then you sell me all the bullshit, and there's no way I can dispute it. I mean, it's 3 games.
Here's what you're telling me, though. He's arrived. I'm telling you who you are right now.
Jordan Davis has arrived. That will be a take.
So you're willing to pay.
Yet. It's a take by me.
So you're giving him a 3-year contract extension
Yes.
at around $25 million a year.
I didn't say 25. You put that number out there.
Well, Milton Williams got 26.
Milton Williams got 28.
Oh, 28. Okay, well then, hey, I shortchanged your boy if he's arrived.
3 years, $70 million with $50 million guaranteed.
Oh, man, you got O'Began now making over 25K, 25 mil. Holy shit, boss. Man. So then you're going to turn around and give.
I'm telling you, everybody, please, if you have NFL Game Pass, please go watch the All-22. They show you the whole game from up top. And don't watch anything but number 90 on defense. That's all you got to watch. Just watch number 90 for the sake of this conversation. You will see exactly why I said they're paying that guy. I know they're going to pay him.
25 and 40 or 65 million between two tackles.
Remember this? Hey, Matt, I remember you. I remember you, Matt. You were chirping, oh, shut up, Xander. Shut up and listen to Big Sills. Now he's like, hey, we need Trayvon Walker. Matt, one day you'll wake up and smell the roses, boy. All right, Matt? Motherfucker.
65 million bucks. You're talking about two dudes.
Yep.
You're going to address that in the offseason. Now, I'll tell you why.
I'm paying Jordan
Now, to
Davis.
your point, I think because Nolan Smith and because of Reed Blankenship, in my opinion, that's where you find the money. Reed is, you're moving on from Reed, correct?
Ready? Here comes Big Marshall. He will appear out of thin air, whatever Reed Blankenship's name is mentioned. It's like on cue. Big Marshall show up when my boy Reed gets mentioned. Right now, based on 3 games, I'm paying Jordan and I'm not paying Reed.
Okay. Do you think this game on Sunday determines whether or not CJ Gardner-Johnson comes back or not?
CJ's not coming back.
No.
No. They're not bringing him back. You got to remember, this organization's got big egos.
What if Makuba goes down?
Well, maybe. If Makuba goes down, now you got problems. There's never going to be a world, though, where it's Gardner-Johnson and Makuba on the field. They can't take Reed off, even if he sucks.
I know. Right. No, I think Reed will play better with him.
Wait, speaking of PFF, have you seen the Reed Blankenship grades?
No.
Oh, they're bad.
Tell me, please.
They're bad.
Tell me.
Oh, man.
Tell me.
They are as bad gets.
Do you got
ready?
Yeah.
Let me pull them up. Let me pull them up. Let me pull them up. All right, here we go. No.
I've been dead on about this guy.
Big Sills is going to lose it.
Hey,
all right, let's go total
I've
defense.
been dead on about this guy.
We're going to go total defense. All right,
okay.
Great. Number 1 ranked safety Xavier Woods. Number 2, Antoine Winfield Jr. from Tampa Bay. All right, ready? You go all the way down. Now, this is only for safeties who played more than 20% of the snaps. So anybody that has like 10 snaps, they're not included in it. So only played 20% or more. More than 20% of the snaps. I mentioned the top 5 are Xavier Woods, Antoine Winfield from Tampa Bay, Julian Blackmon from New Orleans. He's got lesser snaps, but he's having a good year. Brian Branch from Detroit, and Quentin Lake from LA. He had a good game last week versus us. All right. And you go scroll that page and you get it as far to the bottom as you can get it. 83 out of 84 is the greatness of Reed Blankenship. Only Isaiah Pola-Mao is graded worse than Reed Blankenship from the Las Vegas Raiders. Reed Blankenship, 83rd out of 84. Wait, and it gets worse. Ready? So if you get rid of the more than 20%, say, all right, maybe there's other safeties out there who suck because they got benched or whatever. Maybe it gets a little better for Reed, right? Maybe it gets a little better. All right, now we're up to 123 total safeties graded. Reed Blankenship comes in at 121, baby. This guy is having one of the worst starts to the year ever.
How
This
about
dude,
this?
Reed Blankenship. Wait a second. He got married this summer. This dude's fucking starting podcasts with Cooper DeJean. This dude. Yo, Reed. Wake up.
How about Cooper
Wake
DeJean?
up.
What are his numbers?
Cooper DeJean?
Yeah.
I'll have to check. Let me check Cooper.
Let me see what Cooper's numbers are.
Oh, man. They can't be this bad. They won't. Let's go 20% minimum.
Because they're not that. They're like 11th and past.
Wait. Guess who? The number one graded cornerback in all of pro football is for the first 3 games of the year. You got to guess? Number one.
Derek Stingley.
No.
Okay. The guy in Denver. Those are true corners.
No.
I'm looking at true corners. So let me think.
Isaiah Rodgers. The number one graded cornerback in all of football is Isaiah Rodgers.
He's playing Pro Bowl football.
And by the way, that includes if you don't even have more than 20% of the snaps. So you got all these people who graded at corner, 158 total grades. Oh my gosh. And guess who's at the bottom of the 158? Guess who's number 157 of 158?
Who?
Ja'Cory Bennett. Guess who's number 145 of 158? Adoree Jackson.
Oh my God.
So the guy we let walk out the door for $7 million, got a cheap contract, is the number one graded safety of football. Cooper DeJean is let's do 20% minimum snaps here. He is 27th, right behind J.C. Horn.
That's not horrible.
Slay's 30. Sauce Gardner's 33. Or is Quinion? Quinion's 55.
Wow.
That's Retain's 59. So again, it's early. So it's not like it's not perfect. It's not a perfect.
Plus,
it's still
he's traveling all over the place right now.
It's still pretty
number
funny.
one ranked corner.
Yes.
Is Isaiah Rodgers.
Yes.
And that guy could have been on the other side of Quinion Mitchell right now playing.
Wait, so ready? He's the number one ranked corner in total defense. He's also the number one ranked corner in coverage, which is like covering corners.
God.
Yes.
Oh, that's got to be the ultimate mistake this offseason for the Eagles. This early part, he's got to be the ultimate mistake. Get this, and they were right to take a gamble on him. Xander, he didn't really play a ton of reps in the secondary in Indianapolis. Then he got suspended, and they held on to him because they knew he was good. Dude, now you know why Vic went to him last year, right? Now you know why Vic looked at him before he looked at Keeley or any of those other guys, because he knew the kid was good. Wow. You let that guy, the number one safety in the National Football League, who, by the way, just won the NFC Defensive Player of the Week, too, if you want to add that into the mix. So he's not only playing the best football of the 3 games, he just was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week, too, right?
Oh, yeah, Isaiah. Yep. Isaiah's lights out right now.
Holy cow, man. Who's playing the best football, do you think, on the Eagles right now?
Best football on the Eagles?
Is it Davis?
I'd probably say Mailata or Vaughn.
Not Davis?
Davis is up there. Should we look what the grades are?
Sure. I'd love to know where Jordan is right now. I'd love to know where Jordan Davis is. And then I'd like to know where Murray Joe Momo is too. I'd like to know where he is.
So I guess we can look at Eagles. I got to do it offense, defense. I can't do it.
I'd like to know how good Jordan's playing. Yeah. How good PFF looks at it.
I don't want to see that. All right, so the highest graded offensive players, Cam Latu, but he's played 10 snaps, so that doesn't really count.
No.
Jordan Mailata is number 2.
In the
Jalen
league?
Hurts. No. This is just on the
Oh,
Eagles.
okay. On the Eagles.
On the Eagles. Mailata's 2 on the Eagles total offense. Jalen Hurts is 3 total offense. Jalen Hurts is 91 in the run game, so really good. And then 63 in the pass game, so not so good. Then you have Pryor, Toth, which is crazy. Mechie, AJ Brown. So not that great. Nobody's really graded that great. Defense, you got Bond, top graded defensive player. Uche, second, but he's got lesser snaps, but still grading out really good. Jahad Campbell, 3. And then Jordan Davis, 4. Nolan Smith, 5. Cooper, 6. Zadarius, 7. Jalix Hunt, 8. Moro Ojomo, 9. Moro Ojomo's been a letdown.
He's been what?
A letdown. I mean, I was high on this dude. Moro Ojomo hasn't done shit. Moro, where are you?
Dude. So here, one last thing here before we go to Supers. Do you believe they've replaced Josh Sweat?
No.
Do you believe they've replaced Moro Ojomo or Milton Williams?
I feel better about that because of Jordan, honestly.
Okay. They have not replaced Gardner Johnson, correct? Or do you feel they did with Makuba?
I mean, I don't think they've replaced him perfectly yet, but I think they replaced him viable enough yet for me to feel confident and that Vic's going to get the most out of that player and kind of keep building. I don't think they're there yet.
I don't think that's a crazy take if you were going like this, what John said. That, hey, you know what? I feel good with Makuba in there. He's okay. You know?
Yeah, well, that's what I said yesterday. I'm like, I haven't really left a game like, Makuba's, we're screwed. I mean, he's better in coverage, than CJ. CJ was a big freelancer. So Makuba's better in that regard. Now, he's not as physical, not as much of a, CJ really could set the tone on defense, but, I'm good with that.
You would agree then.
I'm fine with Makuba. Like I'm not out here like, oh, we need CJ at all.
But you do agree then over at the corner spot between Slay and Isaiah. I mean, it's Adoree and Keeley. I mean, it even sounds as bad as it sounds, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest hole, right? On the defensive side is over there on the
Adoree
Jackson side.
Grade. I would get you the PFF grade on Keeley, but there isn't one.
Oh my God.
He doesn't have any snaps. He's only got special team snaps.
Man.
That's the supers. You're gonna have a Dirty D says, I'm Xander that hat is sick. Order one now. Sills, I sent you one.
Oh my God, that's great.
Dirty D, thanks for the order. I just got it, brother. Everybody, if you want to go grab the new hat, the rope hat,
it's at
jakibmerch.com.
I can't wait. I'll be wearing it, man. Big Sills will be wearing that.
Right? Good stuff.
I'll be wearing that bad puppy there. Let's read these supers, bro.
All right, that's one of them. I just read it. Dirty D says, I'm concerned about the blitz this week. Yeah, well, they're going to bring it.
Hey, by the way, the blitz this week also, keep an eye on Saquon because he has been horrible in pass. Hey, one day when you get a chance, I would like to know what Saquon's grade is in pass protection right now.
It's not good. You want to know it?
Yeah, I would love to know it because I don't think that guy's played very well this year. Bad. And I think his pass protection has been a liability on the football team. And that was something that you could always count on with him. I thought he was really good when it came to pass protection. By the way, dude, I got to tell you, those little shorts that you are sending me over to my Instagram? Yeah. My Instagram account is blown the fuck up.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I've added 50 new people.
So you want pass blocking?
Pass blocking for Saquon.
And you want running back. All right, let's go pass blocking. Lakeem Allen's number 1. Let's do minimum target. Let's do 20% of the snaps.
Yeah, it's a great tool.
Wow, DeAndre Swift's high.
What?
DeAndre Swift's pretty high. Saquon's 21 out of 37. If you just do all the running backs right now, he is 43 out of 50.
Wow, not good. 43rd out of 50 running backs. The guy who finished second in the MVP is down there.
In pass blocking, he's got a 37
Yeah,
grade.
he almost got his quarterback killed, and they're you know,
48.
hey,
48.
hold on. You know why that's important? Because you just got through telling me, Xander, that they're blitzing and when he's in the pocket 48% of the time now. If you've got him back there and he's not pass protecting.
Did you see there's like a video that went good?
He's one of the worst pass protectors. You think that's a liability back there?
Well, of course. Did you see that there's this video floating around social media about Saquon like tipping the Eagles' plays?
Yeah, I did with his head.
Yeah.
I did.
Now, I think that's probably pretty common.
It is common.
But he got to be a little careful of that because he was like, when they were running it, he didn't move his head. Like, he didn't even look.
Get this. I'll show you what a D lineman will do sometimes. Do you know why the quarterback no longer faces? You know what quarterbacks used to do, Xander? They used to get in the huddle and they used to be here, right? And they used to want to see the defense, and they would go like this, folks. They would go like this. Xander, watch this. You got to watch this, man. Watch this here. You go. And guys would position like this, and they would be reading the lips going,
right.
And they go, it's on first down. It's on first down. So those are the kind of little things that guys are looking for. And linebackers are going like this. Hey, he's moving his head. He's moving his head. He's moving his head. And it's a tip-off. It's a total tip-off. Yeah. Guys are always looking for that shit. All right.
Here's Kimberly. Front office is getting exposed through media outlets like this. We are not stupid. Listen to the players, and as a PT, I always look at their feet. Kimberly, don't go full Sileo-ized on me yet, Kimberly. All right? We still got a good football team. I mean,
Nobody
come on.
Said you don't.
No, Kimberly, that's a bullshit comment.
Way to go, Kimbo. How you
Kimberly,
doing?
this is JAKIB Sports. I bring you the truth.
I bring you truth, justice, and big sills. How you doing?
No, you bring Sileo-ification is what you bring. And Kimberly's got a case of it right now. Devin says, what up, Devin? I like that hat, that style of JAKIB hat, Big Z. Grabbing one of those. Thanks, brother. Also, get AJ Mother effing Brown the ball. Yeah, Devin. Get him the ball.
I agree.
Potato Chip Patullo.
Oh, Chip Patullo. Do you like my new name for him?
What do you mean? Chip's got the number 6 passing offense in football right now.
Excuse me, I can't use that. Is that true?
Yeah. He's got the number like 31st ranked running offense, but he's got the number 1 or number 6 passing offense.
What do you make?
Not graded, I think, statistically.
What do you make of Sam Darnold, man?
Sam Darnold's great.
Bro. I mean, fuck, man.
Who's his offensive coordinator there?
Chip Kelly.
No.
Oh,
Chip Kelly's in Vegas. He's with Gino. He's with Gino in Vegas.
I don't know who's up there. I don't know.
He's there tonight, right? Seahawks, Cardinals?
Yeah, Seahawks, Cardinals. By the way, Kyler Murray's playing good.
I don't like Kyler Murray. Oh, it's Clint Kubiak in Seattle.
Clint Kubiak, the kid from New Orleans.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't like Kyler Murray, bro. I don't think I'll ever like him either. I'm sorry. Mac is open. What's up, brother? I believe the coaching staff are all on Super Bowl hangovers except for Vic. What about the players? Reed Blankenship's like still on his honeymoon or something. Guy's one of the worst graded safeties in football right now in a contract year.
Man, is that
Oh, wait, one more. Nate the God says, Hurricanes getting smacked by FSU next Saturday. I can't wait to see Sills cry. LOL, go Birds.
Let me hook you up here, old Nate. We're going up to Doak Campbell, and when we go up to Doak Campbell, just like we punched around them Gators in the head, we gonna take that number 1 overall spot.
Nate, I don't think FSU is beating Miami, and I'm not even a Miami guy. I thought Big Sills has kind of swayed me. I kind of like rooting for Miami nowadays because I just like Big Sills, and I like rooting for Miami because of Big Sills. But I don't think FSU is going to beat you guys.
Hey, did you see that 2015 coaching stack that Nick had with Mario and Kirby Smart and all them dudes on that staff?
Probably one of the best college football coaching staffs of all time.
All time.
Yep.
I mean, every one of those guys are big time coaches now.
Yeah.
In the National Football League. I mean, in college football. I mean, insane. Bro, it's going to be interesting and it's going to be great. I'll tell you what, I think this Buck game is going to be. You think this game, before we go to Jason Cole, do you think this game is for the early poll in the NFC, or do you still think it's Detroit and Green Bay are in that conversation?
I think it's too early for that. I mean, I do. I think Tampa's really banged up right now. I don't think you're going to get Baker's kind of won 3 games at the last second here where, it's impressive, but at the same time, you're skating on thin ice a little bit, and it's probably not a formula to get to the end and get to the finish line. So I think they're a good team. I think they're only going to get better, assuming they can get healthier. There's no guarantee that, somebody said that about the Eagles injuries yesterday. They're like, it's a good thing it's happening now. I'm like, that assumes that you're not going to have any injuries as you keep moving forward. So if they get healthier, I think they're going to be a good team at the end, but it's a good game. I mean, it's going to be a good game. I think the Eagles are just a better team, though, coming into the week. I do. I think they're healthier and they're more positioned to take advantage of the team. So we'll see how it goes. It should be a good one.
How about this, Xander, before I let you go? 2025 finalist class for the Pro Football Hall of Fame came out. If you're Jason Cole and you got to put one of your votes down here, you voting for Eli or you voting for Drew Brees?
Oh, Drew Brees. Gotta be. What? Drew Brees is one of the most prolific passers.
Wait a minute. That guy's a 2-time Super Bowl MVP.
Hey, listen, I'm an Eli deserves to be in the Hall of Fame guy. I am. And I'm an Eagles fan. So I'm not one of the people that's like, Eli shouldn't be a Hall of Famer. But I understand the case against him where people are, where people say that. Now, Jason will be able to speak about this much better than I can. But, Drew Brees is one of the greatest throwers of the football the NFL's ever seen. I mean, how many times did he throw for more than 5,000 yards in a year?
He's a 70,000 yard passing.
Yeah. Is he the leading? He's got the most yards in history.
Brady. Brady's got the most.
Brady passed him. That's right.
Yeah, Brady passed him.
Yeah, so I think probably Brees, but we'll see. We'll see what they end up.
Absolutely. Big Z, we'll catch you in the morning, my friend. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, Big Skills.
You got it. Make sure you guys please hit the like button. Xander was absolutely awesome here. The Hall of Fame list did come out. Jason's part of this thing too here. We get Armando Salguero on. So I talked to 2 of my famous voters for the Hall of Fame each and every single week. I get a chance to talk to these men. They've been friends of mine for a long time. Funny, I didn't realize it until just this second. They all really started at the Miami Herald. And they were all Miami Herald guys. And they were all down there with, some of the best sports writers down there in South Florida, and I didn't realize they would go on to national prominence like that, but they really have. And so we appreciate Jason coming aboard with us. Let's go to him right now. Before I do get to the Hall of Fame, Jace, how you doing, brother? I do want to get your thoughts on this Bucs-Eagle game. Do you think it is for the early poll when it comes to who's the best team in the NFC? These 2 teams, Bucs and Eagles.
No, I think the Eagles are just better. Now, that doesn't mean that Tampa's not going to win. And, so you're playing a September game in Tampa, right? That's where this game is. Yeah, September game in Tampa for a team that coming out of the Northeast, not an easy thing. The temperature could be, I don't know, where they're predicting the temperature is going to be
94 degrees and humidity at 89.
Okay, so, Bucs are going to win. So, and I say that sort of dismissively, not because I dismiss the Eagles, but people don't understand just how hellish it is to play in that. And when teams come, there is nothing that prepares a football team for that kind of weather. It's soul crushing. And, you came down from Connecticut and, played there. And the first couple of times you played there, you're like, can I go home? You probably say, Mom, can I come home?
Jace, let me tell you the story. I called my grandfather up. They recruited me in February. You know how everything is in February, right?
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah.
I get down there in August and I called my grandpa up and I go, I want to come home. He goes, why? I go, there's no way. I was 19, 20 years old. I'm going, there's no way I can get through this here. I mean, it took me 2 years to get through that heat. I mean, it's not something you can play through.
People do not understand how much you have to physically change how your body works to adjust to the kind of weather that you have to endure to play here. It's soul crushing. And so, like, I remember still, Buffalo came down, it was back in the Ted Washington days. They had a good team. Good defense with Wade. Wade Phillips was coaching the team. I think Doug Flutie, it was Flutie or Rob Johnson was quarterback back then. And they came down and Ted Johnson used to ragdoll Tim Ruddy, the center from the Dolphins, just ragdoll. It was just that it was an unfair matchup because Ted Washington was 350 pounds and no, not in shape, but he was just country strong. So he'd just take guys. If you were 290 or 300 pounds, he could just take you and flip you.
Enormous man. Him and Sam Adams, those guys were
long,
like the same dudes.
just big men and
Big
long
men.
arms,
Big
so they
men.
could leverage.
Yep.
They could leverage the crap out of anybody. He came down there for a September game in the middle of the third quarter. Literally, he just stood up on one play at the line of scrimmage and didn't move. And Tim Ruddy just held him there. Like, I think he was more leaning on Tim Ruddy so he wouldn't fall over in the heat. Jim Harbaugh famously took himself out of the second half of a game. And, it was technically, it was August. It was an August game, August 31st that they played on. It was that one year that they opened the season in August. But it was, essentially as a September game. Jim Harbaugh couldn't finish the game. His entire body had locked up on it. And so, like, that's happened thousands of times. It's a huge advantage. So being in Tampa, it's a huge advantage for the Bucs. They're going to be prepared for it. Eagles will have a hard time. Now, yeah. Could the Eagles win? Sure. They got a great team. Do I think that they're just better right now than Tampa? Yeah, I just think that they're better. If you just look at the two rosters. Now, the Eagles have some holes.
They do.
Like their defense is not what it was last
24th.
year. Yeah, it's not close. I mean, just you watch the way they play. They don't cause the kind of havoc that they caused last year on a regular basis. They can get there, get some guys healthy so that it could happen, but it's not there yet. So, I expect Tampa to win. Do I think Tampa's a better team when we're talking about playing in the playoffs 4 months from now? No, I don't.
Are you buying Detroit?
Yeah, they're a good team. They're loaded, man. Like, they're loaded
Even
with
the
talent.
coordinator changes, or do you think that's overrated?
I think it's overrated if you change a lot.
Okay.
This guy hasn't changed anything, right?
No, Johnny Morton hasn't.
Yeah, Johnny Morton came in and said, hey, it's like everybody expects, like, oh, what's your offense going to be? The last one they ran was pretty good, wasn't it? Like, why don't we just do that? Like, if I can take Ben Johnson's offense and look as smart as him, don't I get a head coaching job? Like, and the other thing is, there's only so many ways that Jared Goff can play. If you know Jared Goff and you know what kind of player is the trigger man, he is a play action guy. You have to set up everything he does off of play action, throw in rhythm, get the ball out of your hands. That's what he is. Don't change that. Because then you're asking him to be a completely different quarterback, which he is just not capable of. Like, I remember, that there was that one play where he rolled to the left. I remember from last week. It was the second half, third quarter game. And, like, that was the same kind of play where Justin Herbert threw back behind his body and threw the touchdown to Keenan Allen. Jared Goff wanted no part of that. He was, like, rolling to his left, and he went like this for a second. Then he just flipped the ball out of bounds because that's who he is. He's not that kind of physical specimen. He's a guy meant to play from the pocket, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just different than what you see from guys who have overwhelming physical skills.
You're buying the Colts. I mean, I tell you this, Jace, I had to click on 3 or 4 times and go, that can't be the same guy from the Giants that made $49 million. You gave him $150 and you whacked him. I mean, Shane Steichen's got a guy. I mean, that guy looks it's 12 quarters. It's 12 quarters. I get it. I'm not going crazy, but boy, he looks insane great.
Yeah, but you got a good running game. You got a good offensive line. You got a functional team. Like, there's 2 things to note. And we've talked about this before. Sometimes the guys just take a while. It takes a while to learn how to play in this game. Sometimes it takes some bumps and bruises. I mean, Baker Mayfield, everybody's talking, I see these headlines. Baker's one of the top 5 guys in the league. Baker's elite. Baker's this. Like 2 years ago, he was getting cut left and right.
They waived him in Carolina.
Okay. Let's not forget Baker Mayfield had a big learning curve to go through. Daniel Jones had a big learning curve to go through. It happens sometimes, even with guys who are considered extreme talents. It takes a while. And sometimes you get your brains beaten in along the way in order for it to happen. So it did for Daniel Jones. But the other side of it is, you got Jonathan Taylor next to you.
Yeah.
So it solves a lot of,
and you got Nelson in the O-line, who's a pancake machine,
Right, like and healthy again after a couple of years of not being healthy up front on the offensive line. So like they're functional right now. Are they great? But we'll see. Where they played the Dolphins, and like the Dolphins. We're seeing the Dolphins are horrible. So I'm not quite there with the Colts, but I like the way they're playing. Obviously,
I mean, they play the Rams actually this week in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of who they beat last week.
They beat the Dolphins. They beat the Dolphins last week. I thought
they built the Dolphins in the opener.
Yeah,
they beat them in the opener. Who did they play last?
The Colts. Let's see here, man. They've beaten.
Here,
let me see here. The last they lost to. Who did they win against?
They beat Tennessee. They won. All right, so look, this is their wins. Miami lopsided. Then they edge out Denver in a very controversial game where they missed the field goal initially, and then the penalty gives them another chance. They squeak out a 1-point win, and then they win at Tennessee.
Yep.
So two of those three wins are against, just crappy teams. And the third one, Denver's a quality team, but it's not like this. It's not a lockdown. This is a great team. That's not what Denver is yet.
The loss of Nick Bosa by the 49ers. I mean, I'm going to talk to you here in a second about the Hall of Fame, and the names came out yesterday, obviously. But boy, I'll tell you what, a guy that was trending to be a Hall of Fame football player, things like this kind of derail your scenario where you're talking about Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? I mean,
a little bit. I mean, he's got a lot to go. I mean, I will say this: he hasn't played that consistently for 2 years.
That's true.
He has not quite played, but he did before that. And there were moments this year that he was playing. Look, they're gonna have to make a trade. They'll go and get Bradley Chubb from the Dolphins. Like if I was running the Dolphins, I would be, and you'd have to be either the president of the team or the owner to do this. I would fire the GM and say, look, interim GM, go market these players now, like Bradley Chubb before he gets hurt. The kid out of UM that they drafted a few years ago. Phillips, and Tyreek Hill and whatever else you can. And I would say market them now, and let's not wait on the trade block, because we'll say to teams, look, trade for him now and you get a full season. And I would immediately go to the Chiefs and offer him Tyreek Hill. And I would go to the 49ers and offer him Bradley Chubb, and then try and get another team interested in trading for those guys to see if I can drive up my market. But I can say, instead of me waiting and settling for a second rounder and a fourth rounder or something like that, maybe I can convince them I can get something a little better by giving them more of the season right now. If that makes sense.
You think Bradley Chubb, because the Eagles are in need of a edge rusher, they just lost Nolan Smith and they're not getting very good play at the edge. Do you think Bradley Chubb can still play? Do you think that he is a good football player?
Okay. I mean, look, again, it's not so much about whether a guy is a great player or not. It's is he available? And if I'm running the Dolphins, I see the writing on the wall. Like, they're 0-3 and they play bad football.
I'm selling everything.
I sell it, and I sell it sooner than later, because for two reasons. Number one, I think I can sell it and get a better price on it now by giving somebody more season. Second thing is, I don't want to take the injury risk that goes with holding a guy for another 3 or 4 weeks. So yeah, I'm running the fire sale now because I don't like the kind of football that the Dolphins play. I know it is generally really early to pull a plug on a season, especially when it's 17 games. And a lot of people would say, oh, that's heresy. You can't just throw in the towel right now. No, I know I can throw in the towel right now. I know I don't like the way that this team plays football. I know that I'm done with the quarterback, even though I like the kid personally, and I think he's played hard and done a lot of really good things. He's not good enough to take me where I need to go. He just makes too many mistakes. He makes, there's too many fourth quarter interceptions in critical situations. There's too many hiccups in his game. So no amount of stats will convince me that Tua is going to ever be a championship quarterback. I've made that decision. It's time to move on. It's time to tear the thing down to the studs. And I'm selling off whatever I can, because I've got, I got guys in either last year of their contract or short term left on their contract. And I know that, look, Kansas City desperately needs a wide receiver. Even if they bring Worthy, even when Worthy comes back,
or
even when Rice comes back, they don't have a guy who's like Tyreek. They just don't. So go get him. Give the Dolphins a second round pick, and for Tyreek Hill right now. Go to the 49ers and say, hey, look, either you take Bradley Chubb and give me something, or I'll trade him to Philly in a couple of weeks.
How about real quick before we get to the Hall of Fame here? So Jace, you want me to build the Dolphins for the next GM? I mean, dude, I don't know if
No, I fire the GM.
They may not fire Greer. You think they may not fire him?
No. I just look. If you
fire him, clear house too, clean house and everything.
Yeah, look. I mean, don't do that to Chris Greer.
Yeah.
Just say, Chris, Chris, I appreciate it, but I gotta let you go now. I'm gonna bring in an interim GM. His job is to sell this off for the best price you can get, and that we'll do what we can. But I think you have to do it sooner than later, because there's a very good possibility that if you wait too long, you get very little for those guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, look, desperation is desperation, and some things could always happen, but you're always better off selling early in scenarios like this.
You believe that the Dolphins made a mistake by giving Tua the extension?
No, they had to give him the extension to play it out.
Okay.
It's turned out to not be good enough. I mean, and they're playing people. I told you so. It's like, man, look, what are you going to do instead of Tua?
No, you brought this up years ago when we were talking about him, like 2 years ago. You said this. Okay, you want to get rid of him? Fine. What's your plan? Who? Theo Lemon? I mean, right? I mean, Cleo Lemon, is that what you're talking about? What are we talking about?
Tyrod Taylor. I mean, like, you're listless. So sometimes you have to go through the exercise of finding out, is the guy good enough or not? And yes, the odds are always this, no matter what. This is a blanket statement that is absolutely true. The odds are that most guys are not good enough to achieve what you're trying to achieve, because you're trying to win a Super Bowl. Okay, that's true. That doesn't mean that they can't play. It doesn't mean that they can't have good careers. It doesn't mean all that. But you're trying to win a Super Bowl. If that's your goal, if you're trying to compete for that, Tua Tagovailoa, it's not that guy.
All right, let me get to the Hall of Fame here. What'd you make of the list? What'd you make of the 2025 NFL?
I don't think there's any holdover. I don't think that any holdover from last year is going to get in this year.
Wow.
I think that Luke Kuechly, as good as he was, not going to get in. I think your boy Reggie Wayne, not going to get in. Torrey Holt, not going to get in. Steve Smith, no chance. I think that Eli Manning, no shot. Phillip Rivers, no shot.
He's a first-year guy.
Yeah, he's a first-year guy. But there's 4 guys on that first-year list who deserve to be in. Breeze is basically a unanimous guy. No debate about it. Fitzgerald, unanimous guy. Okay, now, and remember, the math part of it is when you have unanimous guys, they take votes away from the guys who are left.
Yep.
Jason Witten's on that list. Jason Witten's a Hall of Fame player. His stats are there. Frank Gore, your boy from UM, not a great player, doesn't have it, but he's got some stats that, again, he is the Don Sutton of the NFL. He compiled numbers that are worthy of going into the Hall of Fame.
He's third all time.
Yes. He's number 3 all time in rushing. Was he a star? No, not necessarily. But he compiled some numbers that just say that's Hall of Fame. And he's going to leap beyond some guys because that's an incredible achievement. Is he a star? Again, star? No. Hall of Famer? Yeah. Frank Gore's a Hall of Famer. But, so I just named, if Breeze and Fitz get in and are unanimous, it's going to be really hard for a third guy. Right? There'll be a third guy who gets in, but it'll be almost impossible for a fourth guy to get in. So that's why I say, if you do the math on this exercise, when you start talking about Torrey Holt, Luke Kuechly, who's the guard out of Baltimore that we didn't put in last year? I'm trying to remember him. Who's just a great player.
Oh man,
Gore's not going to end. Phillip Rivers, Eli, no shot for Eli, no shot, none at all.
Wow. So Richmond Webb, no shot. Richmond,
no shot. Good play. I mean, and maybe in a different era he might have had a shot, but he's got no shot, and not in the way that the math works out on this deal. It's not.
Does the process have to change?
My opinion, yes, and I've said that to Jim Porter from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But they've had a lot of outcry from people, who are currently in the Hall of Fame,
like Dion.
That they put, not specifically Dion. There's more. There's a lot more guys than just Dion. And let's just also say this: Dion speaks out of both sides of his mouth, because he'll say one thing like, "Oh, it should be." The first ballot guys should have their own hall and too many guys get in. But if you ask him about some buddy of his, oh yeah, he deserves to get in the Hall of Fame. He's never specifically badmouthed anybody. But the point is, they want to get the cream of the cream of the crop. That's their goal. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. And my job as the voter is to do what follow the rules as they've been specified to me, right? That's what I try and do. Okay. So they've moved the goalposts a little bit and made it harder for guys to get in. And again, I always come back to when we talked about it. This is a direct reaction to the blue ribbon senior class they put in 5 years ago, where a lot of guys who got in didn't deserve to get in. And I know I'm on a Philadelphia radio show, or podcast, but Harold Carmichael is not a Hall of Famer. He is a Hall of Famer. He literally is in the Hall of Fame. And he's part of my youth. I have a great appreciation for Harold Carmichael. I started watching football in a serious way when he was playing for the Eagles.
To be fair, you don't think Drew Pearson is a Hall of Famer,
right? I don't think Drew Pearson. My bar is pretty high. I'm bringing up Harold Carmichael because people in Philadelphia know the name and they understand, and they may hate me for saying it, and that's okay. People are allowed to disagree, and he's in, so congratulations to him. But when you put guys like that in who are not the cream of the cream, then you change the standard for what a Hall of Famer is supposed to be, and you get an overreaction and an overcorrection. And what we really should be doing is saying fewer senior guys, more modern guys, because we're going to leave a bunch of modern guys behind. We left 2 modern guys behind last year. We should have had Torrey Holt and maybe Reggie Wayne get in last year. Or, Luke Kuechly and Reggie Wayne should have gotten in last year. Or, whatever combination. I don't care. But those 2 guys got left behind. And guess what? They're going to get left behind with 2 more guys. And then next year, if we do this again, they're going to leave 2 more guys behind, because I think only 3 guys are going to get in a year. And even if it's 4, you're leaving 1 guy. And now all of a sudden, after 3 years, you got 5 guys who have been left behind and I'm unable to get into the Hall of Fame. And do you think any of those guys, do you think Eli Manning passes any of them?
No.
Right. So now all of a sudden, the people who believe that Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer, and there are people out there, and I don't think they're necessarily wrong. It's a tough call. But Eli Manning, instead of getting closer, he gets further away.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's a load of guys who get in line ahead of Eli.
You think Rivers is a Hall of Famer over Eli?
No. I think they're about the same guy.
How about Roethlisberger?
Yes, Roethlisberger's a Hall of Famer over those guys.
Well, then if you start going down that process, you got Roethlisberger, you got Brady coming up, you've got guys like you said. You're talking about Eli Manning being like a 6th or 7th potential candidate.
Eli Manning was I don't know how close he was last year, but he was up here last year, right? And we spent a lot of time arguing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, well,
Right. He's coming down.
Look, again, who's the guard from Baltimore I'm talking about?
Marshall Yanda.
Marshall Yanda. Like, Marshall Yanda was a better player than Eli Manning, okay? Luke Kuechly.
Yes.
All right, those guys aren't getting in this year. Now, all of a sudden, let's put Frank Gore and maybe Jason Witten ahead of him, right? And by the way, we still got Torrey Holt and we still got Reggie Wayne. So here's Eli Manning going, just keeps dropping as guys come in ahead of it. And then Phillip Rivers, they're maybe side by side, but like they're side by side and they're stealing votes from each other. Like it gets hard for those guys to get in. And pretty quickly, it's going to become almost impossible for Eli Manning to get into the Hall of Fame.
I got two last ones here on you. I want to bring a name up to you, and I want to know if you guys ever changed the landscape, because you have, on requirements on getting into the Hall of Fame. You just went over some of them, but okay, so you put in a special teams guy like the kick returner you guys just put in, Devin Hester. He really doesn't have a position, but he was a hell of a football player, and he was great in special teams, and now he's a Hall of Famer.
And that was a hard debate for a long time. We spent 3 years debating him.
Okay, how about this? Mike Allstott's got 6 Pro Bowls. Okay. And he's a 6-time Pro Bowler. He's a 4-time first team. Now, listen, I'm with you. I don't see he's only got 6,000 yards rushing, counting the playoffs. However, he's got 6 Pro Bowls, and he was defined differently. I called him a hybrid in that they labeled him a fullback. Do you guys ever see people like Daryl Johnston, people like Marion Butts, people like that were labeled that fullback type guy, where you start going and cutting that up and saying, well, that's different than being a pure halfback.
Well, what do you do with the guy who played in Cincinnati?
Pete Johnson?
No, not Pete Johnson. More played during the Chad Johnson era. Blocked for Corey Dillon. He's on TV out and played with the Chargers for a while too. He's on TV out in San Francisco.
No, Lawrence O'Neal.
Yeah, what do you do with O'Neal?
Dude, he's got a ton of first team Pro Bowls.
He's a better player than He's a better player than All-Star.
No, what what I'm saying is, don't you?
But no, he's a better player than All-Star.
Okay, right. He's a better player than All-Star. Will you ever cut it up into going like this? Well, let's put fullbacks. Let's start categorizing fullbacks to get those guys in. Do you ever do that?
You can't. You can. And there's certainly a great argument that if you are the greatest ever at what you did.
You think the Cowboys win the Super Bowl if Daryl Johnson's not lead blocking there for?
Yeah, I think they find a way to replace Daryl Johnston. Let's not. Wait
a minute, though. You may be able to replace. Wait, no, Chase, I disagree.
No.
You may be able to replace Daryl Johnson.
Nate Newton, 2-A.
But he was part of the run game.
Stepnoski, Gogan, the Animal.
I got it.
Eric
Larry Allen. I get it.
Larry, I mean, come on now. Come on. Like, you don't think you could have found a way to fill the fullback
Okay,
role?
They may have been able to replace him, but he was part of the run game.
I'm not disputing that.
That position was part of the run game.
Okay.
Emmett said that with Daryl Johnson was one of the main reasons why my career was the way it was. No, I'm just having a convo here with you that. So you categorize fullbacks and running backs like OJ.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this to Daryl Johnson because the man deserves a lot more dignity. He is a dignified, good man who played the right way.
If we're talking Hall of Fame, we're giving him his flowers here. You know what I mean?
I understand that, but I can't do it. Tell me, and yes, there's an argument to be made, but what is the singular thing that he did that couldn't be replaced somewhere else. That could, like, I'm sorry, like,
Oh, you just think
that's,
he's a dude?
I think he's a dude, not
Okay.
just a dude. I think he's a dude,
Okay.
and that's a great thing. But it's not Hall of Fame, and there is a different level.
There
Okay,
is.
you're talking about guys who are truly, truly, truly special, and did things that no other human could do. Devin Hester, and people can do the stat comparisons and all this stuff. When Devin Hester was returning a football, people didn't go to the bathroom. People did not get in line to get beers. People did not go to get popcorn or hot dogs or any of the other things that they did. When Devin Hester was back there about to return,
True.
everybody stood and they watched and they said, "What's this dude going to do?" Now, Daryl Johnston, impressive. But were you watching a run play for Daryl Johnston? You were watching because
Wow.
Emmett was there, and and Eric Williams or Nate Newton was about to plaster some human being, and then Stepnoski was about to do something really vicious to somebody, and then Gogan was going to pancake somebody else, and then earhole him on the way down. Like that's just. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it went, man. Like, those were the guys you were watching on that field. Daryl Johnson, you have great appreciation, great respect for. Lorenzo Neal, incredible respect for. Mike Allstott, tough as nails. I have incredible respect for that guy. Hall of Fame, I can't do that. I can't. Not under the conditions that we talk about right now. They are too far down the line behind a lot of other guys who were just better players.
Hey, folks, this is what the debate must sound like when they're in the room like this here too. So I'll give you one more.
You should be in the room sometime. You'd be good.
I'd love to hear it, and I'd love, I wish they could just like have people in there, like just sitting there and listen and watching the process, because we could learn so much on how you guys are caretakers of the game here. Now, I got one last one here for you, because I've been asked to ask you from this player. Okay. And Simeon Rice asked me to ask you. I mean, he's got 122 and a half sacks. If you go by the NFL standard of the new numbers from 1960, he's 34th. If you go by the 1982, where they started keeping it an official stat, he's 22nd. I look at Jared Allen and him and went like this. Well, Jared Allen's got 14 more sacks than what Simeon was. Simeon was a defensive rookie of the year. You can make the argument he was the best defensive player in that Super Bowl when they skunked the Raiders in that, and he was great.
Mm-hmm.
What do you? I mean, Dexter Jackson won that MVP that year because of special teams. But what do you make of Simeon? I mean, he was a hell of a football player.
Look, I wish Simeon was discussed once. I wish he was in the top 15. He hasn't made it. Do I think his career was complete? And that he played his ass off his entire career? It's tough, man. Do I think he was the best football player on that team when you had 4 other guys who were in the Hall of Fame already? Right? I mean, Rondé Barber, John Lynch, Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, right? It's tough, man. You're talking about 5 guys off that defense. And, they disappointed a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, they did. I've always said this to John Gruden. I said it to Tony Dungy. Dungy, I asked him if he thought his defenses and teams in Indianapolis underachieved by only winning 1. He said, yeah. And I asked John Gruden, do you think that Buck defense underachieved just like the 85 Bears?
Well, but Tony's part of that too. Tony was part of that Buck defense.
He said it too. I know, but they should have. If you're really going to be truly great, you got to be like Dolphin great with the no name and have 3 AFC champions.
Well, you gotta have two. I mean, this is going to hurt the Seahawks, right? That they only got the 1.
Yeah, right? Totally.
Instead of getting the 2, because that's gonna like Richard Sherman's going to get in off of that defense, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Bennett gets in, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. Who else is getting in? Is it?
That linebacker they had there too.
Bobby
Bobby
Wagner.
Wagner. I think
Bobby
Bobby
Wagner.
Wagner's probably going to get in Pro Football Hall of
Probably
Fame.
get in, but Earl Thomas, no.
No.
Not, but he's a great player. You know, it gets and you know what's amazing. I was talking to somebody earlier this week about Russell Wilson, and they asked, does Russell Wilson, if he never plays another down again, get into the Hall of Fame? And I said probably not. I'd like to hear the argument. I'd love to hear the argument, but you know, he's up there. It's sort of in that Rivers Eli discussion. Does he get in? Does he not get in? I think probably not, because his career has gone like this. But the early part of the first 10 years of that career is pretty damn good.
You want to hear this? He had more wins than Jalen Hurts did in the first 5 years, and he went to back-to-back. Hurts obviously has the Super Bowl MVP, but people think about this. When we were talking about him, Jason, in the early part of his career, everybody would have said he was a slam dunk guy. He was on his tray. He was trending.
Well, people thought that Donovan McNabb was going to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, absolutely. They thought McNabb.
And Donovan thought he was going to be a Hall of Famer. So, and he's not, because his career just went like that off a cliff.
It nosedived.
Right. But let me put it to this way. If Russell Wilson completes that pass or just hands the ball off,
wins 2 of them,
and wins 2
back to back,
does he go into the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely.
One play. His career could come down to whether he gets into the Hall of Fame or not. Literally comes down to one play. That's how close this is. Instead of, he threw one of the biggest interceptions in the history of the Super Bowl, on one of the biggest plays in the history of the Super Bowl.
Jace.
Instead of completing it, if he completes it, or they hand the ball to Marshawn Lynch and Marshawn, runs over your boy. Wow. Right. If he runs over your boy, Vince Wilfork, which he almost did the previous time. And I love me some Vince Wilfork. Wow. Talk about guys who deserve Hall of Fame consideration.
He's on the
ballot. Love me some Vince Wilfork. Love him. But he got trucked on the play coming before that. And he would have gotten trucked before because he was gassed on that play. One play.
Wow.
One play. Russell Wilson completes that pass, or they score the touchdown some other way. They win back-to-back Super Bowls. He's had a great first 10 years. And even if he's kind of peters out the way he's petered out, he goes into the Hall of Fame. His entire Hall of Fame existence, I believe, comes down to one play.
Man, I never looked at it like that, but you're dead right. I mean, if he wins
he might get in the Hall of Fame still. I doubt it. I don't see it. But that's how close these things are, man. Like, sometimes it's mind-boggling.
Do you think if Jalen Hurts wins one more Super Bowl, he's in, having gone to 3?
You got to have a complete career.
What's that mean? What's that mean?
I don't know. But it's not. He's not there yet in terms of a complete career. Like Patrick Mahomes is there. Patrick Mahomes has won enough Super Bowls, and they've been in either the AFC Championship or the Super Bowls for so long.
9 years in a row.
He has nothing else to do. He's in. Okay? He's the only guy. But now, there's more to his career that will play out. And we'll see what happens with Jalen's career. But again, there are guys who you sit there and go, oh, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. And then it just kind of goes like that.
Jace, do you think that one play also affects Pete Carroll on getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame too? Because if he wins that game, that's 2 back-to-back. Does that affect
it has a ripple effect on a bunch of guys. You look at Earl Thomas differently. You look at Michael Bennett differently. You look at, Marshawn Lynch.
Richard Sherman.
Well, I think Richard Sherman's going to get in because he's the best corner from that era. I mean, you can argue Revis if you want, but but Sherman was right there. But I mean, Sherman's partially a creation of Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
I mean, Earl Thomas was so good over the top, taking everything away. It gave Sherman the freedom to do different things. He's not, he wasn't a Revis talent necessarily, but he produced like crazy, right? And part of that is he was allowed to do that because Earl Thomas was so good. So it's, like winning a second Super Bowl. And I know it's, people are like, oh, you put too much on the Super Bowl and this and that. Like, this is the point of why you play. Championships matter. Its legacy matters. What you do on that field, like, you don't go out there to just generate stats. There's a lot of dudes who've got big stats. Again, we come back to Frank Gore, third all time in rushing. Don Sutton. That's a great comp. Because Don Sutton's in the Hall of Fame. Nothing wrong. Yeah, Frank Gore has nothing to be ashamed about in his career.
No, you're not dumping on longevity. Longevity's a thing.
I'm not. But there's not the moments. There's not the, and so there's just so many different ways to look at football because of the lack of the number of games. Like, baseball is a lot easier because you play so many games, right? You play 1,500 games, 2,000 games in a career, whatever it happens to be. You play so much. So baseball gets to be easier. The NBA, basketball, it's a lot easier to figure out. There's just such a big body of work. In football, the body of work is so small to begin with that trying to distinguish the truly great from the very good is a blur. It's just it's things like that. And again, one play. Russell Wilson, I think, if Russell Wilson makes one play in his career, if that play comes out differently, we're looking at Russell Wilson going into the Hall of Fame and probably walking it.
I want to sneak this last one in on Barkley on you.
You always sneak an extra question. You're the king of the sneak question.
Thank you. I know, and I love it. Here, let me, Chase. So I'm trying to explain to people in Philadelphia about Barkley, and we look at Derrick Henry and you look at Barkley, and I'm like, Derrick Henry is a slam dunk. He's going to walk into the Hall of Fame, and there's not going to be an issue. This guy's one of the greatest running backs of all time. Saquon Barkley's not. He's just not.
No. Well, he took a huge step last year, but he's not there yet. No.
Taking his step at 27?
He's not there yet. He's not. I mean, the Giants' years are not good enough. There's some cool plays with the Giants, but you got to do more. Derrick Henry's going to get in the Hall of Fame ahead of him. Yeah, Derrick Henry's a beast, man. Derrick, who wants any part of tackling Derrick Henry?
Hey, that's ankle tackles there, Hoss.
Man, there's defensive linemen who are like, let me shield up. Like, nobody wants any part of that.
Shield up like a turtle.
Yeah, I love this whole thing. Like, oh, he's fumbled so much. Yeah, because nobody's going to go try to actually tackle him.
No way.
They're going to knock the ball out.
Because of Earl Campbell.
Yeah, I mean, he's not. I watched some Earl Campbell highlights the other day. I hadn't seen him in a while. He's not quite that.
No.
But he's as close as you're going to get in like
I think Earl was faster.
Earl Campbell.
I think he was faster.
I forgot how fast he was. It's almost Bo Jackson. It's not quite Bo Jackson speed, but it's like that. Like Bo Jackson would have been like Earl Campbell on
that Isaiah Robertson hit that he.
Oh, well, that was part of the highlights we were watching. Like, he just. There was one play. It was against the Falcons, I think.
It was like him being electrocuted, wasn't it? When he stuck his helmet in his chest, the guy got electrocuted.
And people forget, Isaiah Robertson was a bad man.
He was so good. How about the hit that both him and Tatum had at the goal line?
Oh yeah, and he's like,
each other out.
He's like, Tatum like crumples, and Campbell gets himself upright and gets into the end zone. And then this one against the Falcons. I mean, literally, 7 guys touch him, and he just goes through them all like Earl. So yeah, Derrick Henry's like that. Derrick Henry's one of those guys that dudes are like, man, like I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. And look, Derrick Henry is being helped by the fact that he's next to Lamar Jackson right now. It's a great thing. It's sort of like Marshawn Lynch was helped being next to Russell Wilson when Russell Wilson could still run. You force the defense to have to occupy two different guys. And Marshawn Lynch benefited that. And that, I think, will make Marshawn Lynch a Hall of Famer someday, right? So all of this is, there's a lot that works together. But Saquon Barkley, look, last year put him, like on a map, and there's some incredible highlights. But I got to see 2 or 3 more years. Yeah, I got to see a little more. That's how I feel. Like that's my gut reaction as a voter.
Absolutely, Jace. Hurricanes end up knocking out them Gators, and they're in Gainesville.
Living in Gainesville is an unhappy place right now, man. It's an unhappy place, and I don't
ready
care
for this? Guess who's going to get that job? Lane Kiffin.
Oh, of course, Lane Kiffin's going to get that job. He's been trying to get that job twice, and I feel bad because Billy Napier is a really nice guy, but
he is.
He's very nice. He's a very nice man. You would love it if Billy Napier was a guy who succeeded.
Yes,
it would really, really, really be a great thing if a guy like Billy Napier, but it's not working. And maybe he'll, I hope for Billy's sake. It's sort of like when I look at Mike McDaniel in
Miami,
and I look and it's like, okay, it's not working. This is not good enough. But you're a smart enough guy if you go back and you say, okay, this is where I'm on the wrong path, and this is where I need to work on, and this is what I need to change, and I need to adapt, and I'm smart enough. Like Billy, I think, is smart enough to figure that out. I think McDaniel's smart enough so that when they get the next chance to be a head coach at this kind of level, I think it'll work. That's my hope for those guys, but it's not working now. And, the players don't believe in it. The Dolphins need to move on. The Gators need to move on. It's not personal. It's results are results.
And he will not be a sad man moving out too with a $19 to $21 million buyout. He'll be all right.
I ain't crying for him. I'm hoping I'm hoping he can learn from the process. Cry? No. I trade with him in a heartbeat. I go get fired for that. Right
$21 million buyout. I'm like, all right, I'm in. All right. Jace, thank you so much, man. What a great
dude. I'll talk to you.
You got it. Our friend Jason Cole, talking some football with him, man. I love talking with Jason here. Gave me the process too and the lowdown of how the Hall of Fame works here a little bit too. I love it when Jason can give you like the insights on how these guys vote. I told you, listen, no, Adrian Peterson is not a better running back than Derrick Henry. They're different though too. They're just different. Okay. All right. Let's pay some bills here. Our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America, is Morgan & Morgan for a reason. They defend families like yours, coast to coast. I told you a couple months ago about the family in Pennsylvania that had a insurance company come in and they offered $650,000. No way. They ended up getting a $30 million settlement for that family right here in Pennsylvania. Or how about the family down in Florida that only was offered initial $350K by a insurance company? Morgan & Morgan went in and got $12 million for that family. Unbelievable. Folks, I'm telling you, the easiest decision that you'll make. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Big Sills, do me a favor, folks. Please hit the like button. We appreciate Jason Cole coming aboard with us. Football Friday tomorrow here. Big Sills, can you check on this report that Nick Saban might take the Oklahoma State job? It's a pretty good paying job. Now, T-Bone Pickens is no longer there. I think if Nick Saban were ever going to take a job, it'd be the Gator job. It would be the Gator job because you could make $12 million and never have to leave your house. It's the best, one of the best jobs in the country. I'll make this point to you guys. Why do you guys think the Gator job's a better job than Notre Dame? Why do you think it's a better job? Keely time. I'm going to see you bums in hell. Dolores will be out by the second drive. Ringo Starr is here. Yeah, we shall see, Pump. Not buying it, dude. The guy's a bum. Why do you guys think the Florida Gator job is a better job than Notre Dame? Can you tell me? Why would that job be better? Sills always talking millions and the owners got billions. What the F with this dude? Not sure what you're talking about, Junior. Yeah, no, that ain't happened. That's correct. Here, if I take the Gator job, recruiting. If I take the Gator job, no chicks at Notre Dame. That's funny. Here's why the Florida Gator job is better. I can go and drive to Tampa, go to Tampa Catholic, get in my car, have lunch or breakfast with the kid, be home for dinner. I can get in an airplane, fly down to South Florida, go to Woodrow Wilson High School, talk to a 5-star kid, be back for dinner. I could drive up to Tallahassee or I could fly to Tallahassee, be back by dinner, and I never have to leave the state. The greatest recruiting area in the United States is the state of Florida. When you recruit Notre Dame, you got to go to Los Angeles. You got to go to Chicago. You got to fly to Seattle. They recruit nationally. They got to go to Boston. They got to fly down to Miami. Marcus Freeman is all over the United States. When you're the head coach of the Florida Gators, you make $12 million a year and you never have to leave your county. You could recruit the entire state And if you win all of the kids that are 5 4-star kids from the state of Florida, you never have to leave the border. You don't ever have to leave. I mean, that's right. Pompano Beach, you can go over there. There's a whole shitload of kids over there on that side. You go down to Bradenton. Bradenton High's got great schools down there. IMG's in Florida. Why would I leave? Notre Dame is not that great a job. How many national titles have Notre Dame won the last 60 years? One? Oh, 1988. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Montana won one in 79 when they beat Houston in the Cotton Bowl. I mean, but in the last 60 years, we're not talking about a lot of success for Notre Dame. No religious obligations at Florida. Just visit court jail on Mondays. Can't win Super Bowls, can't win national titles with all choir boys, my friend. I don't want choir boys on my team. I want a lot of assholes on my team with some good dudes. Plantation is another spectacular recruiting area in the state of Florida, without a doubt. Plantation down in Homestead. Belle Glades, Florida is spectacular. If you go down there to Belle Glades, this is where Nick Saban did a lot of recruiting. Homestead, Belle Glades, Pompano Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Dade County. Then you go over to Okeechobee. There's great recruiting areas in those part of the Big Fred's, Florida. I think so. Best job in Florida is the U. I'll tell you what, they're spending money. They're spending money now. I don't know where they're getting it from. Pablo Escobar II must be somewhere, because Miami's not a state school. Miami's a private institution. I don't know where they're getting the money from. That's a pretty big payroll they have. And they built that team like a Southeastern Conference team. All right. But here's the recruiting areas. Florida, to me, is the best state in the country with high school football kids. Ohio, Texas, Pennsylvania. Let's see. Pennsylvania. PA's right there. California, obviously. I think Louisiana's got great football. Georgia's got great football. But some really great. Pennsylvania's got great high school football prospects. Georgia's another one. Absolutely. All right. Did you guys hear Jason Kelsey talking about the Heat? Did you hear what he said? When I was a player, I didn't realize this. Okay? I didn't realize this. But he's right. So Jason's been removed now 2 years, right, from playing. He goes, when I played, it never really dawned on me to concern myself that much with the Heat and going and playing in the Heat. Okay? Now that I'm out of it, it's brutal. And those guys are going to melt when they get off the bus. It's just going to be, from what I understand, it's going to be 87 to 89 humidity and like 96. Yesterday in Tampa was one of the hottest days of the year. And I don't know what's going on in September here in Tampa, but it is hot. I had people at the Buck complex tell me, their PR guy, tell me that it was one of the hottest days that they've seen in a long time. And the Bucks practicing this shit. Okay? I mean, they practice, they live, they play in it. Eagles don't. It's a thing, dude. And it's funny when he said, you're right, because when you play, you don't really realize it, especially for a guy like me. I played in that heat and that humidity. And I just got used to it. My when I was playing pro ball, my wife, my girlfriend then, she come over, man, and she knew like when it rained, Hoss, the place would just, it was just a furnace. And with the equipment on, the helmets, the shoulder pads, you're losing 25 to 26 pounds every time you play a ball game. I mean, every single game I played, I must have lost 26, 27 pounds. When you play like in that kind of, especially early in the year. Later in the year, it gets a little better for you. Yeah, dude, you know, I always have this conversation with my daughter. My daughter says the heat, that is for her. And she, get this, you got to understand something. My daughter played in Arizona. It gets to 120 degrees. And they practiced on AstroTurf. I mean, that's blazing. I mean, think about this. If it's 120 out and you're practicing on AstroTurf, that turf's like 140, 138. Your knees hurt, your back hurts, your ankles hurt because it takes its toll on you. But I would rather play in that than play in the humidity that we played in. You know, when we practiced at Miami, we did everything outside. You know, and that's one of the things that we did, by the way, at the end of the day, was we made sure that we were always hydrated. And I liked what they said earlier in the day here, that make no mistake about it, you know, if you're not prepared for it right now, there is no way you're going to be prepared for it on Sunday. Here's Brian Pumper. Your ass gets swampy. It really does, Bruce. Seals, looking at the Bucs roster, how are we going to hold Chris, Tristan, and Buka, and Bucky? And Baker can sling that rock. And again, you're right. I still think, listen, I'm leaning Eagles in this game, though, right now. Pump, I'm leaning. And Baker can sling that rock from every blade of grass. He sure can. I'll tell you what, he's playing as good a football as anybody. He really is, man. I mean, he's playing as good a football as you could possibly play. And the most important thing he's doing is that he's protecting the football. Now, on top of this here, let's do this. Hurts and Mayfield. Let me pull up the stats here. And let me go here with these two guys. We see who's playing best right now. It's funny. I bet you if I were to pull these up, I bet you that these guys are pretty similar when it comes to numbers, because they haven't really been able to have a lot of time throwing the ball because both O-lines have been hurt. So check this out. Baker Mayfield is 18th in passing yards, and he's 61% completion percentage, which is not very good in today's NFL. He's got 615 yards passing, and he's got 6 TDs with no picks. There's the difference. And here's Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is 28th, and he's at 71.4. He's more efficient. He's got 479 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. He's got 100 rating. Baker has a 99.5 rating. I think these guys are playing a lot alike. I really do. Baker's got a winning record versus as a Buck, has a winning record versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the coordinators that he's had have put him in a great position. Dave Canales, Liam Cohen, and now we'll see what Josh Grisard does. By the way, put this into context. Josh Grisard is a first-year play-calling offensive coordinator, and he's going against Vic. On the other hand, you got a first-time play caller and Kevin Patullo going against Todd Bowles. This is why I think this is going to be more of a defensive battle. Okay, I think this is going to be more of a defensive attitude and a defensive football game, because I think you're going to see these two guys really confusing these quarterbacks and really doing – Todd does a great job against Jalen. He does. And I think Vic is going to create a lot of problems for Baker. Why? You're moving those O-lineman guys around. How in the world would they know all of their assignments not having played together? This is what I would do. if I were the Bucks for the Eagles. They've right now got Graham Barton playing left tackle. And he's been moved out there for the last 2 weeks because Tristan Wirfs, actually, he's been there for the last 3 weeks. They did all this. Get this. They were going to play Charlie Heck out there. And they had that one gap week, before the start of the season. Todd Bowles and the offensive coordinators, you know what they were doing? They were going, if we do this, we do this. Bowles did this. Well, let's do it. So Todd made the call to change players up and move them. It was Todd's call. He told me. I said, well, why are we talking about it? Let's do it. So they did it. And they moved Graham Barton to left. Then all of a sudden, Cody Mock got hurt, the guard. Then they had to do some more shuffling. Then they lose Luke Gedeke, the right tackle. They just gave $23.5 million annually to. They got 2 great bookend tackles. They're out. Now, Wirfs is supposedly coming back. But remember this. He had surgery on July 8th. Okay, for a meniscus tear. And to me, I don't know, man. I mean, I see a lot of injuries on that Tampa Bay Buccaneer team, and I look at that coaching staff, or not the coaching staff, but the medical staff. They got a shitload of injuries, man. Mike Evans, hamstring. Dude, you know what a hamstring injury is? Got a lot to do with the hydration. That guy's not hydrated. He's played 10 plus years in Tampa. I mean, it's been a chronic thing with him since he first got to Tampa Bay, and he played in College Station where it's extremely hot down there. I don't get it. I mean, he struggled in Tampa big time. All right? I mean, he struggled big time with his health. So, Bucks are a different animal. Eagles know that. Yeah, but I didn't like Nick telegraphing it. I really didn't. Ibanez. That's why I have the Bucks beating the Eagles in a close game, 24-21. I mean, outside of Emeka Mbuka, Sterling Shepard, I don't really think much of your secondary outside of Cooper and Q. I don't think anything of those guys. I think Makuba is going to be good. He's okay right now. But your corner and your safety play are not great. And get this, and the play of Makuba is affecting Reed's play. So I don't think you're really good at both safety spots. I hear Sanders say it, and he goes, I'm not concerned about the safety spot. Well, when Reed Blankenship's the last rated safety almost in the NFL, I'm kind of concerned about it. And I told all these peanuts about Jacorian Benoit, but he got hurt against Dallas. Dog, I can't believe how he trolled. Hey, how about this, Pump? Make no mistake about it, man. There's some decisions that you're going to go back on. How about this one here, man? Brian, Isaiah Rodgers is the top-rated corner in the league. He's the defensive player of the week. Xander told me Burks is the second best player against the run with the Bengals. I mean, Huff's the 7th rated edge rusher in the NFL right now with the 49ers. I mean, those guys would all have helped right now. Now, do I think Huff would have helped here? No, I don't. I do think Isaiah would have. I do. And by the way, I think it would have been tough for Campbell to get on the field with Burks in the building. Burks was great in the playoffs. He was freaking great. Burks would have started the season. Right? Rodgers should have been starting corner for the Eagles. And you know what's crazy about that, Senor? They did everything right. They took the gamble from Indianapolis, right? He didn't play. They sat his ass. I mean, they sat him. They waited for him. He was really more of a special teams guy when he was in Indianapolis. They waited for him. He gets on the field. He gets in the Vic system. And he gets in there, and all of a sudden he plays really well. Every time Slade came in and out, he every time he came in and out, he played. There was never a drop-off, really. And they were right. I mean, they saw the player. The evaluation was right. All these fools praise him. That Rodgers is going to bite Howie. Yeah, I don't think the Huff deal is going to bite him. And I don't really think the Burks deal is going to bite him. But I do think that this Isaiah Rodgers deal is going to bite him because he's got a massive hole over there corner. Howie needs to fire the people who thought Adoree or Bennett was better than Rodgers. I could have consulted and told him to keep the guy that played well as a fill-in for the Eagles last year instead, right? But Senor, I think if there was a price tag, could somebody look this up? Wasn't there a $7 million price tag on that? That the Vikings were like, we're going to pay the kid. They paid him starters money. The Eagles didn't want to do that. By the way, Howie did do this. He went like this and said, I believe Keely Ringo more than Isaiah Rodgers. And he lost on that one, in my opinion. Well, as Michael Jordan would say, he about going to get his chance. You about to get your chance. Michael Jordan told somebody at the Hall of Fame, I think it was, I forget the guy, it was Brian Russell. Brian Russell talked shit on Jordan. And Michael Jordan was retired as a baseball guy, right? He was playing baseball. He had retired from the NBA. In his induction speech, at the very end, he goes, there's one more guy that I got to give heat to. He goes, I went up and saw Karl Malone and I saw John Starks. And, we were at a shoot-around. I wanted to come by and say hi. And then Brian Russell came up to me and went like this. Why'd you retire? Man, if I ever get a chance to guard you, man, you better be ready. So Jordan said he was in the circle for like when they played Utah in the finals. He goes, hey, Brian, this is right before tip-off. Jordan goes like this. Hey, Brian, you remember when you said you wish you had a chance and you wish you had a shot at me and why'd you retire? And Brian Russell looked over at him and he goes, well, you about to get your chance. Hey. Well, you about to get your chance. He ends up winning 2 NBA titles on Utah's backside. Hilarious. I think Rodgers got $15 million for 2 years. I thought it was something like 7. Howie didn't want to pay $7 million for a starting corner. Is that right? Instead, he hangs his hat on Keely Bingo, Pumpers guy. He did. I know, man. I love. Hey, that's one of my favorite Hall of Fame speeches is Jordan's Hall of Fame speech. He took a crap on everybody. Yeah, he did. Ringo will have a short leash. Nickerson was elevated off the practice squad. Was he? Oh, my God. Adoree Jackson's contract was $1.755 million, $1 million guaranteed. Jacorian Bennett is $1 million. Isaiah Rodgers signed 2 years, $8 million guaranteed. Howie didn't want to pay that for a starting corner who right now is being rated, albeit it's 12. It's 12 quarters in the NFL. He's being graded as the number 1 cornerback in pro. Hey, by the way, Xander told me too, Reed Blankenship's ratings right now are the worst in the league almost. Why is that? Remember we said, how do you think Reed Blankenship is going to play this year? Everyone was talking in the offseason. Most of you in here told me I was full of shit. That Reed's a $15 million a year guy. And that he's better than CJ. That guy's the worst safety in the league. For a contending football team, he's the worst. Okay? The Ringo hate is so cringe. Well, it wouldn't be if he played decent. Hate Blankenship and Coop with that podcast. And don't worry. Hey, Bruce. Cooper DeJean's going to be looking for a new white boy. He'll be looking for a new white boy. Where's the contract? I don't know. I was told it was coming 7 different times. How he could have cut Ringo and Dorian Bennett and kept Rodgers. Absolutely true. Seals, do you anticipate all these low PFF grades to continue? No. No, I don't, because of one guy, Vic Fangio. No, I do not do. No, I don't. No, they're going to get better. By the way, like I said, the grades and where you're ranked right now in defense. Here's the numbers that you got to keep an eye on. Right now, the Eagles are 15th in scoring defense, which is 21. Last year, you gave up 17, right? Right now, the Packers are giving up 14-7, which is crazy. So let this stuff settle a little bit. So 8, 9, 10, 11. So you're giving up 4 points more. It's still way too early. 4 games is more of a trend. Your red zone defense, and they're doing very well down there. They're tied for 7th. That's great. But here's the problem you're starting to see. They're down, you're 21. You can't get off the field because your run defense is not very good. It's just not very good right now. Here, I want to do it again. Rushing defense again. You're 24th. The Bucs are 6th. Here's the defenses going into this game. Total defense for the Bucs versus the Eagles. I think the Eagles are better in pass defense, actually. So total defense, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are tied for 11th. They're 4 points away from being a top 10 defense. The Eagles are 18th. Passing defense, Philly's 11th. 2 yards away from being a top 10 defensive team. But see, there's limited throws because you're getting beat on the run. Rushing defense, we know this number. You're 24th. Anybody that tells you that Philly is doing a great job in run defense, I want you to sit there and go, what are you talking about? You're 24th out of 32 teams. And then they go, well, Jordan Davis is playing well. I got it. He's playing higher volume. I got it. But they're still giving up 5 yards of play. I mean, you're giving up 135 yards a game. Last year, you were number 8 against the run. You were the number 1 overall team. Like I said, I think they're going to get better, but I don't think your edge play is going to get better. Well, how is it going to get better? Who's going to have an epiphany and start playing better? Zadarius Smith? Maybe. Who? Uche? Ojulari? Where are you getting this play at the edge? I don't think it's your tackles. I think it's your edge players that's causing you issues. Sills, I would sacrifice a few wins to heal on my O-line and heal my offensive line for 100%. I think you've got to get out of the first part of the season here because you have New York twice coming up. You got the bye coming up. You got Denver. And then I would start thinking about doing some of that if I needed to do some healing. You're 3-0 right now. I think the Buck game's going to determine a lot of that stuff. I really do. All right, guys, got to pay some bills here. Folks, The number one injury law firm in all of America is indeed Morgan & Morgan. Folks, we're so proud to have them part of the show. The number one injury law firm in all of America. Why? Because they win. Simple. I tell you this, that we're so proud to have them part of the program because, again, an injury law firm, some of these guys here, you just don't trust them, right? You know why you trust Morgan & Morgan? They started this company because of John's brother being paralyzed. That's what this was. This was a crusade they went on to make sure families are never taken advantage by companies. Do me a favor. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Tonight, Seattle versus Arizona. Man, Sam Darnold's played some great football. I can't believe I'm saying that. Let me go here and take a look at this for a second. By the way, guys, please hit the like button here. Justin Herbert is the #1 rated quarterback right now in pro football. I told you guys Jim Harbaugh was going to make an impact on that guy's life, and he has. Geno Smith is second in passing yards. Daniel Jones is third. Prescott is fourth. Told you guys, Drake May is a real deal. Golf is 7. Allen is 8th. Stafford is 9. Lamar's 10. There's Sam Darnold, 70%, 663 in passing yards. He's got how many TDs? He's got 4 TDs and 2 picks and a 104.7 rating. Guy's played great ball, man. Let me see where Kyler Murray is on this list. I think Kyler Murray's played pretty well. I saw him last week. Now, his rating ain't all that hot. No, it's 93.9. That's not terrible. He's got 4 TDs and 1 pick, and he's at 542 in passing yards. And he's at 68% completion percentage. So if I'm going to pick a team tonight, I'm taking Seattle. I think Seattle goes on the road tonight. They win that game. I think there's going to be some bullets fired in this game. 30-27. I'm going to go 30-27. I got Seattle tonight. So Football Friday tomorrow. I cannot wait. Guys, great stuff as always. Thank you so much. Please make sure you hit the like button on the way out the door and also subscribe. You know, Xander told me like a year ago, have 70% of the people that watch the show have not hit the subscribe button. Please do that. We'll see you tomorrow 2 to 6, and we'll catch you on the flip side.